Well, there goes.
Here, honey.
Oh, thank you. The Daverhood. We are live in vivo on this episode of Dave's Gone By. Conmigo, Dave Lefkowitz, y mi esposa fabulosa, Joyce, or as we would say in Spanish, Hoyce. What was her Spanish?
There's no Jota. I don't know what, so my Spanish teacher was from Cuba. She was Senora Balea, right? I don't know what she called me. She would say Hoyce.
She would say Hoyce.
She would call me Hoyce a lot of the time. Yes.
You're gonna be Hoyce hang out, yeah.
Ingrid got another name. Ronald was actually half Puerto Rican. He was a red-haired kid. And he was, I think, everybody had a different name. I was just Hoyce. Because I worked in the language lab. I was a language lab worker, and I did a lot of work there. And
did everybody, I mean, you must have had more than one Spanish teacher. So what did they all call you?
No, I was in the native speaking class. I wasn't a native speaker, but we just spoke Spanish in class. I was always in the Spanish speaking classes. So I had Senora Valea. Miss Larson or Senora Larson, she was for the people who struggled with language.
Oh.
So it was a Catholic school. We had two teachers. I forget if there were other, the Motioners did French, I think, and German or Italian, but I didn't take those languages. But
even when you took an adult ed Spanish course at a college,
Rafi.
Yeah, like about 10 years ago, maybe. What did they call you in that class? It seemed like a wonderful class.
Well, what I liked about him was we just said stuff. So it was like most of the people were doing translation. They couldn't get certified from the class, but it was part of a certificate. So he would say like arriba, so look at the on-air sign and he would draw on like a whiteboard and then he'd put an X above it. And he said, ¿Dónde está, like the chair? La silla. La silla. ¿Dónde está la silla? La silla es arriba de la whatever. Arriba es la silla es dentro.
And la mesa.
Like,
right.
So you'd have to say like all of the things, and then he'd give you a conversation starter. Like you'd say, I don't know, ¿Cuál es su color favorita? Right? And then you'd say something, and then you'd ask the next person. He'd say, ask them about something. It was very.
No, that's great. It's all conversation. But when you say me llamo? Did you say me llamo Hoyce?
I probably said Joyce. You know, they knew we were bilingual, but I think she'd say Hoyce because Japotas, you know.
Because what we're going to do is I'm going to go to a yard sale today. Yeah, I'm going to go to a yard sale and buy you a petard, and that way you could be a Hoyce on your own petard.
I think like it's very funny because I had a colleague who was from.
No reaction. Yeah.
No, she was from Columbia, the university, and she was my teacher in grad school. She was a professor, you know, and she called me Grace because when she heard Joyce, she heard Grace. Yeah. So for the longest time, I also went by Grace.
Well, I've told this story probably on the air. I've certainly told this to you in one particular class.
Oh, there were so many Davids.
We had 3 Davids. I was one of them. And so what did the Spanish teacher do? It isn't enough to say David. So, okay, one was Diego.
Oh, I like that.
And then was David, which is the one I usually get because it's the Jewish sounding one anyway. But no, I was Jose.
You could be my bodyguard. You could be my.
How she got Jose out of
she just was looking for another name.
She was a Doy. Doy would not have been. But
I would call you
Dufus. Yeah,
Donaldo.
I'll take that. You know.
Or I would say, what's your middle name? Like this is what I would have done. That's
Neil.
We had GAs with my friend and I, and they both had the same first name. So we said to them, what do you want to do? And they said, we come from the same age cohort, so everybody's named the same name.
Oh wow!
So when that happens, I often go by my last name.
Really?
Which also sounds like a first name, so we called her her last name. So
that helps.
Like if you're born in a birth cohort where David was the name of du jour,
everybody would be it. Yeah.
I would also say pick a name.
Pick the name that you. I think one of our Spanish classes actually did that. Like just go find a name.
In Joyce, I was like Julio or Julio.
You were not Julio. I hope not.
No, I was Hoyce.
Maybe Julia.
I knew the teacher. I told you the funniest thing. So we're sitting in the Spanish lab. We spent a lot of time together. Like we do tutoring. We would do. You had to make language tapes. You had to organize. And when we were downtime because it was a Catholic school, you always had to work. I wrote out bus passes for the entire school. Like they gave us the bus passes and we had to physically, write it. And I was talking to Senior Valea and then I said something and the word was palooka. And I didn't know what it was. This is how stupid I was.
Yeah.
It means wig. And so she does like this with her hair. She was wearing a wig and I screamed.
Oh dear, yeah.
Because I didn't know she wore a wig and she like pulled her hair and I just remember the shock in my body, like this lady's pulling her hair off. And then I knew she wore a wig. Other people knew. They're like, you didn't know she wore a wig. Because we sat by letter, I was always in the back.
Say.
So I was the last row.
My Spanish teacher, I'm sure, wore a wig too. She had this blue font. Yeah.
But oh my God, I was.
And actually, we were just a couple of weeks ago, I was showing Duck Soup, the Marx Brothers film in class, and just hoping they would laugh and hoping they would get a kick out of it. But there's that wonderful moment when Groucho, as Rufus T. Firefly, asks Margaret Dumont, the Mrs. Teasdale character, is like, he's wooing her. And he says, may I have a lock of your hair?
Oh, no.
I said, oh, Rufus. He said, you're getting off easy. I was going to ask for the whole wig. He's beautiful. He was so great.
You don't expect something like that. It's like I've had people take out teeth and other body parts. Like it was shocking. But I always remember, I was like, Señora, ¿qué tipo de cosas una peluca? Say. And she said, peluca. And I said, no sé. And she said, peluca. And I said, pelo. She said, what does it sound like? I said, pelo.
The pelo, hair, yeah.
Hair. Said, like I'm doing mustache, I'm doing like
well, she was an old Italian woman. She would have had.
She shouldn't have that like scared me. And I remember people came in from me because we were language center was a big room. People came in because I screamed.
Oh God.
And I was like, I'm okay,
Oh, that's fabulous.
It's not extremely jumpy either. Like, but having someone, it would be like if you took your beard and you moved it.
Well, my dad would tell the story for years in high school, I believe it was.
It was court. We went to court and the guy was testifying
and that's a different story. He was one of his teachers in high school. Was coming every day and had this thing.
Oh, I love your new shorts, David.
Thank you. Are they great?
Oh, yeah.
So this one day after weeks, they're great. After weeks in the semester, he comes in and he's like doing a whole lecture sort of like this.
Like me with my bonding.
Right. And they're like, it's a little weird, but maybe they think he's got some of his teeth or is painful or something. And then towards the very end of class, he's been grading and so he just casually goes like this. And he had taken off the mustache that he had worn since the very beginning. And everyone went like,
because you're not used to it.
Yeah, it was such a shock. I didn't just want to walk in there and we have to talk about it and have them be distracted. So we kind of like, was this? And he was a playful guy. So he just kind of.
That's even more interesting because then people are like, what's going on? Right?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I like when teachers do that sort of thing, really?
I still have trauma for her shaking her wig at me.
But at the same time, I mean, you're speaking of a private and religious schools. It was just in the news today that a Christian school, private Christian school, I don't know if it was Florida, I don't think it was Texas, fired 2 of its like staffer GA people. Guess why?
I don't know if they did something that violates the book ban or something.
No, great guess. Well, in their letters, in their emails, in their writing, to anybody within the framework, to students, to whomever, when they would write an email, when they would, their signature thing, they would include. It was a guy and a girl who were both fired, and they would include their pronouns.
Wow, I'd be fired.
And they were regular pronouns too. It was a he for he, him.
I'd be fired. I do that in all my emails.
Everybody knows. I don't like doing it.
I don't know like what to call you, and I don't feel comfortable. Like even wow.
And so aside from that one guy's name was Reagan. The guy or the girl's name? Girl's name was Reagan, which could obviously be either male or female. Yeah.
Like this is what you have to understand. Like I'm a Durkheimian in some ways. You know what the rules are. If you know what the rules are, you make a decision to follow them or not. And if you don't follow them in a country we're punitive, there's gonna be consequence. I don't agree with any rule per se. Like I think if you have a rule, like,
So in other words, the university set out its rules,
yeah.
they disobeyed,
It's
and therefore
different
it's
if you don't-
fair.
If you don't know, you can say, look, I was unaware, but if you know, they have to communicate the rules to the people. I
Mm.
mean, I interviewed, when I first came out of school in my 20s, I interviewed at a small Catholic school, and they said to me, you cannot show this, you cannot do this, like, they said, we're telling you these rules.
Yeah, you can't talk about
Yeah,
this
yeah.
subject.
We're just telling you these rules so you can make an informed decision whether you want to work here. And if that's fair, but if they didn't tell me that and they're like, oh, you can do whatever you want, or they don't mention it, then you get there, that's another difference.
And you did not take that
No,
job.
I did not. It's not my cup of tea, but
I would be fired on the first day. It's like,
yeah.
I could have been aborted, but I wasn't, folks. You know, it's
But
like,
you know what I'm saying? Like you like, I don't know. I would be scared. I could not, it would be difficult. That would be,
Of course, yeah,
I feel
yeah.
really sorry for anybody who has to navigate that.
welcome to Florida. And welcome to any place that's tearing down there, because that same school tore down its DEI
Oh,
building. It's whatever the DEI organization on campus, saying it didn't really fulfill the goals of.
I mean, for me,
Yeah.
like, there are things that happen in this world that I never thought I'd see, like a pandemic.
Oh, wow.
I'm still like we had the guy or somebody speak at school, and he's like, well, there'll be new pandemics and viruses coming. Like, did you ever think as a child, like, I would be living through a global pandemic? I never.
Ask your grandparents. Well, you could. They live for smallpox.
No, but and there was Ebola. We've had
Yeah.
outbreaks and and measles and stuff. But
There was a day I came to work, like half of us had hangnails. It was unbelievable.
did you ever think you'd live through a pandemic?
No, of course not. I don't think I'm going to live through another quote unquote war, but who knows?
Look at Ukraine. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, a war that we're directly involved. I was alive during Vietnam. I was.
Do you remember any pictures or anything?
It's funny. I remember Watergate was the first time I became conscious.
Oh,
It was 1974. I was 10 years old already.
wow.
And that was 72. It struck.
You're carrying your briefcase with newspapers.
And what I remember about Watergate was I was pissed off because over the summer I was home and I would watch the TV game shows in the morning. And all my game shows were preempted.
You're like
For all these men on TV in essentially a courtroom setting, well, the Jews this and the arcana. What was my understanding about this? I was 8 years old. I was like, where's Alex Trebek? Where's Chuck Woolery? Where's I want my, and it was the stupidest game show, high rollers and
You liked it though.
yeah, it was fun. It was a nice way to pass the morning. And suddenly it's like John Dean. Like,
Well, what happened to him anyway?
actually, Dean, did he die? Oh no, anyway, what happened to the big guy? I don't know. I do remember Nixon's resignation speech live. I did watch that on TV. Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
Isn't it amazing how we remember certain things are visually or the sound or something? Like I was telling somebody that my mother and grandmother took me to see Hair in the movies.
Oh,
And I was like
yeah.
8. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what?
Yeah,
It might
it
have
wasn't that bad, but it was.
been for a young child, it was pretty.
But unfortunately, I would have been 5, and I don't remember at all like the moon landing.
Oh, wow.
I remember it from, of course, seeing that since then.
But not on the
not-
the TV.
not,
You're too
being in the
busy
kitchen.
watching your game show.
Yeah, right.
Let's make a deal.
I wish I remembered that. I was old enough to have
Some people deny that it's real,
Oh,
there's deniers, right? Like,
no, but that makes me sad that I don't recall the moon. I was born 2 months after Kennedy was shot, so it's not like I would remember any of that. But no, my first political wasn't even consciousness. It was just like, I hate politics. It's taking away my game. Why are people interested in this?
Yeah, I know, we don't get it. We just don't get the get the stuff.
We
Right?
don't. I will say, I don't see, they haven't canceled everything. One of the reasons I want to rush through this episode.
You gotta get out by like 12, so you have at least an hour.
We have a yard sale, literally on our block. There's people. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's people on our block with tables out across the street, and then they're selling stuff. I'm not kidding, even though it's sort of semi-raining. And today was supposed if it was gonna rain, they were gonna make tomorrow the rain. Go,
I'm not gonna look.
go,
But
go.
they said, oh, I see.
Well, you see the painters next door, but you don't,
No, I see, I think it's a,
yeah, they got tables full of crap that I wanna look at and.
oh my God, there's one, it's like a gigantic pink horse, it's like this big.
Okay, I need to look at
Oh,
that.
you gotta see it, it's a big horse, yeah.
You wouldn't let me get that other horse,
No,
that other
okay.
thing. It was a beautiful, big, rideable child's horse.
Okay.
That I could have put, you got your exercycle right there. I could have moved the exercycle, put the horse right there. I'd be on it every day. I can actually do that on this chair. Now that I think about it.
Yes.
I might just do this for the next 3 hours of the show. It's like so pleasant. Have you ever tried this?
You make me a little nauseous then.
I do that anyway, all the time. By the way, this is the 895th episode of Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, as I said, or Hoyce. And here's the reason you should be watching this show, because I'm not going to spend the whole show going. And by the way, there is a little bit of drool right here that I just was so excited about this. That's a screaming goat. There he is. Look at him.
Take a picture, we're gonna take a picture that you wanted me to take a picture of.
My penis?
No, it was a weird word. For your show, we took it.
Oh,
I'm not gonna play on my phone, I know it annoys you, but I want to see if I can get a picture of that pink thing for you.
Joyce wants to get a picture of that pink thing for me. And the reason I'm wearing pinkish or red, red is the color of the day, not just because I this week interviewed a very famous model, not for the podcast, but for a piece I'm writing for a local magazine or a New York. Anyway, this model said that the greatest quote that she ever got from anyone was when a major agent, it was Diana Vreeland. Hold on. One second. Diana Vreeland told you should always wear red.
This is our neighbor, but this is what they're selling.
Oh no. All right, I'm gonna take his face out of it. So
Yeah.
do we need? Wow.
Yeah, and that's a huge, it's like the size of a human.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, do we, I'm worried about, of course, lice and things, and then we call bed bugs and things, but I would take that. Wouldn't you want that?
No.
Really?
First of all, I don't know who in that family had it. I'm wondering if it was Mr. Bob's.
It's from Bob's house?
Yes.
Wow.
It's on a wagon. It's so sad. I'm looking for the other picture we took for you. What was it?
You're saying it wasn't the
It was something, no, it's a map. Hold on. I'm having trouble.
it wasn't that restaurant when we make that turn.
No. It was we took something funny. Where's my pictures?
I don't know. I need to download some pictures. I haven't done that. Here we go.
Joke about a bagel, right?
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
No, I just took a few today, but I'm gonna show you this here.
Oh yeah.
That's
Okay, so Joyce and I
remember.
are, this is just a day or two ago. I'm taking her to work, and on the way we pass, well, it's about 5 miles away where she works. So we're driving, and street signs and warning stop signs. And yield.
Of the law, right? You're a very good driver, thinking about, yeah.
And my favorite is, deaf child area, as if honking is like a kid would hear it.
Like you have to look, yeah.
Or deer cross. If a deer's gonna cross, what the hell can you do?
The deer looks and says, okay, this is where we cross.
Yeah.
This is where we cross.
And then you get signs like children playing or something like, or a yellow with a black of a thing through it, like be careful here. There's children in this area.
Or like an intersection or merging or hill, things like that. We had a lot of hills, or we have speed humps and bumps.
We do have, we don't just have a sign for speed bumps. On our street, we have a sign that says speed humps. I always point to it and say, Joyce, want a quickie? And she says no. But speed humps, right?
Love it, yeah.
But check this out. Check this. What is this? This is actually a road, a legitimate highway, street sign, I guess you would say.
Googled it. It said avoid children on teeter totters.
Who was ever said, if you saw this would cause an accident.
It's very perplexing. I don't understand why they couldn't make a better sign.
Because I would drive by this and go, what are they saying?
Yeah.
There's children on a seesaw. Not
And
just,
there's nothing there that looks like children on a seesaw. There's another one of it too.
yeah, it's basically by an apartment complex.
Yeah, apparently, well, look at the bagel thing and see if you like it.
Yeah, but this idea of, I guess it's supposed to say, one second, that you're coming to an area where there's a place where children play.
Recreation, like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a recreation area, like a YMCA or a park. But when you look at that sign, there is nothing park-like.
No, there's a little patch of grass,
It's like the front lawn of the school.
and there's not a seesaw.
Maybe it was a school and
Oh.
they made it apartment buildings.
Maybe,
But wouldn't they take
they
down?
went the sign. But I've never
Maybe
seen
they have a seesaw.
That's what
Maybe
I'm, yeah.
apartment buildings did a seesaw.
So anyway, she also sends me this thing of
Just
a bagel with a panty. I don't know what the hell this is.
No, that's a bagel cutter.
Yeah,
And read what
your
it
eyes
says
are better than mine. The end may be near, says the bagel, but before I go, I shall scatter my seeds to the farthest corners of this countertop. And in that way, I shall exist forever. That is actually very sweet. I love that.
I got it on Facebook. He was going to the bagel cutter. Did we take another picture too? I thought we took.
Of me doing something against something.
No.
Joyce documents my life. That's
I
basically
do.
her purpose as my wife, is to when I find something, I'm like, I need a picture next to that. And she'll go, no, you don't. I say, yes, I do. And then she'll be like, okay, let's do it. I'm still upset. There's a giant rubber duck that's in front of one of the stores that we pass, and it's disappeared.
Did you show yourself eating the big ice cream last week?
Eating the big, please.
Okay.
Yeah. We went to
Here's the collage.
So once a month they have, now that spring is here, once a month at one of the local churches, they have, what do you call it? A craft fair kind of
Yeah,
art fair, arts and crafts fair. So we enjoy it. We go there. We don't buy a lot, but we look at everything and we sometimes we'll get a gift for.
We get French fries from the French fries man.
See, outside they have one or two food truck things, one of which is the French fry guy.
He's great.
He makes absolutely, cuts the
Delicious.
what's.
Chip on for you. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it's so, and they're just literally fresh,
Right from the grill.
person cut, fried French fry. The only annoyance is he's got a generator right next to it that is louder than a 747.
But that has to make the.
I know, he's the electric, but I'm standing there trying, I want fries. Arbeit macht fries, oh, hold on, I lost the thing here.
I'll give it to me, I'll do it.
Yeah. So also sometimes there's another truck there. Sometimes there's one other truck that will be selling, because he has French fries and the occasional hot dog or burger. Sometimes a lot of chicken wings. He never has. I asked for the chicken wings. He sometimes has nuggets. I'm like, the hell with that. I'll take the
Just depends
fries.
on the day, yeah.
But this time they had, because it's warmer weather, an ice cream truck. I'm like, ice cream. I haven't had ice cream in ages. So I'm like, ice cream.
Yeah.
And I looked there and I said, it's not so much Sundays as they do shakes. I like an ice cream. I think I'll have a nice ice cream shake. So we splurge. We buy one of these things, which is insanely expensive, but it was really, really good. It was like Oreo cookie crunch.
They had an Oreo
shake.
dipped in white chocolate
Yeah.
and all sorts of.
It was. I drank most of it. You had one spoonful. I drank most of it.
A lot. I mean, I never had dairy. It was delicious.
So it was a nice treat. It was a really,
I thought there was something else they had to show, but I don't know.
No, I don't think that was last week already. We didn't take anything since then. So yeah. So that was kind of cool.
I'm gonna take just one picture of my teeth.
Oh, Joyce is having her teeth whitened. And it's this cool thing where every night before bed, she's got to put her in there. I've done this. I did this years ago. And, you hold it on there for about 15 minutes and poop, poop. And within a couple of days, her teeth have lightened a few shades, I think. And at some point, but if she keeps on doing this, I'm going to have to wear sunglasses to bed because she's going to smile and be like, oh, my eyes.
Crazy like that,
Well, no, I think, let me see, smile. Let me see her. Yeah, now you're fine.
And I gotta do, I'm gonna save one. She said save one for a touch-up.
Oh, that's clever.
you know, but I'm
Like you
gonna,
can always just go, "Phoot,
yeah, I
phoot,"
think
yeah.
there were 7 or 10. I don't remember how many. I think 10. I don't,
Yeah,
but I'm
you'll
gonna
look,
save
you'll
one
check,
because that
yeah.
was a touch up.
Now, by the way, I want to remind, I haven't even told people what's going to be on this episode of the show, besides me and Joyce bantering as we always do. Well, our 895th episode, wearing kind of pinkish red, because red is the color of the day. As I mentioned,
Pink is the
Diana,
color of the day.
let me see that again. That's if nobody else buys that.
No.
But the problem is I can't really lowball these people because they're literally our neighbors.
Like, it's that, what is that used for?
You give it to a child to snuggle in, like a little girl when she's 6, 7, 8 years old. It takes up
See,
the
but
whole
they
bed.
don't
She
have
sleeps with it.
children. That's what disturbs me.
What?
They don't
What?
have children. The youngest person in the house is probably 25 or 30.
Okay, that.
Yeah, that's why do you think I'm concerned? I don't think, I hope he's not snuggling it. The youngest person there has gotta be
Because that's one of those things that girls are supposed to
25
lose their puberty with, you know? Or
25 or 30. This is not.
that, no, that, okay, that's really whoa. Unless that thing is 40 years old and God knows, or wow, wow. Anyway, pink, red, the color of the day, because we're going to say some red in just a little bit. Our guest in the Daverhood is someone who's been doing cabaret and theater and dance for a bunch of years. For a few years, she was doing and still does a tribute called From Broadway to Burlesque. Ooh. You know, so some the kind of songs and dances that would be in the higher and better times of burlesque before it, slid downhill into basically girly shows. And more recently, she's put together a show in tribute to Rita Hayworth, the classic 1940s glamorous red-headed, red-draped actress, because she looks like Rita Hayworth. Her name is Quinn Lemley. Quinn Lemley. So she is going to be talking to the great, the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon. He's the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. So he will be doing the honors, interviewing Quinn Lemley about her latest show that she's going to be doing on, I believe it is at Don't Tell Mama. Let me make sure. That's basically where a lot of our guests are coming from now. Yeah, in fact, she's doing once a month her show, The Heat is On, tribute to Rita Hayworth. And it's going to be happening this Monday, May 22nd, and then late in June. There's another one late in July, then early August, and so forth. So don't miss Quinn Lemley, and don't miss her in just a couple of minutes on this show, talking with Rabbi Sol. And what else? Who else? We have our Today, Yesterday quiz. So Quinn is going to stay on and play the game opposite a couple of great people. First of all, we'll have David Sheward, creator of the David Desk blog and a theater critic who writes for theaterlife.com and culturaldaily.com. And he will be playing opposite someone who was on our show a couple of years ago named Stuart Brown. Stuart Brown founded and runs a 24/7 show tune online radio station. And it's oh my, and I'm stalling now because the name of it just flew out of my head. Shame on me. But because I sometimes listen and I get their emails every week and there's a puzzle you can solve. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, it's Stuart Brown, and he's going to tell us about his station, probably drum up some more support for it, and play our Today, Yesterday trivia game. So don't miss that. Plus, we'll have our Colorado Limerick of Damned. Plus, we'll have Greeley Crimes and Old Times. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff to do. I am just, let's see, Quinn should be logging in, fingers crossed, shortly. In the meantime, let me remind you that if you want to watch older episodes of Dave's Gone By, it's real simple. Just go to davesgoneby.com, DAVESGONEBY, davesgoneby.com. Our very first episode from 2002 is there, as is we lost our second episode, but our third episode is there, our 15th, our 28th, our 120th, our 743rd episode is there. Now, the first bunch of years were all audio only. It was a radio show. Now, of course, they're video shows, but you can watch them to your heart's content at davesgoneby.com. We also load up all our archives at archive.org. Archive.org. That is a nonprofit organization devoted to capturing art and culture and entertainment from the past 1,000 or so years. And so we have a channel there, the Dave's Gone By channel. And we load up all our stuff. And what's kind of nice is in recent times, we can give them higher quality recordings than I can even put audio and video. Then they can, the audio is not a
I
problem.
didn't check your phone. Give me your phone.
Yeah, I don't know if she has my phone should probably please in my office.
Okay, I'm gonna check because maybe they emailed.
Yeah, I just checked email. That I'm not seeing. Oh, she's trying to log on. So, ladies and gentlemen, anyway, archive.org, also for the audio archives, castbox.fm, castbox.fm. That's audio only. It's for podcasting. If you want to listen to the show rather than see it. Anywho, we have coming to the Daverhood two people. We have the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sal Solomon, who's going to be interviewing Quinn Lemley. And we got Quinn Lemley. I'm so excited. And guys, okay. Hot girl alert. Don't go away. Shalom, my friends. Shalom, all of you out there and in here. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sal Solomon, the founder and the spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And oh, look at that. When I promised that you're seeing red, look at being all red. That is my kind of red right there. Look at the delicious, delightful, and burlesque Quinn Lemley, who's going to be talking with us on this program, Dave's Gone By. Let me tell you a little about Quinn Lemley. She is a cabaret star. Her shows include burlesque to Broadway. Woo-hoo, I want to hear about that. And also, more recently and currently, Monday night, you can go see her at the Don't Tell Mama Club in Midtown Manhattan because she's going to be doing Rita Hayworth. The Heat is On, a show dedicated to the music, the songs from her career and her life and career, as performed by the lovely Quinn Lemley. Shalom, Quinn, how you doing? Oh, oh, you gotta get closer to your. Oh wait, I gotta make you louder. Say that. Do that big again. Just.
Shalom, Rabbi. My dog is getting all excited.
So's every guy watching it. So, what is the name of your dog? What kind of dog is that? I love dogs.
She is a Malshi. She looks like an Ewok. I'm not kidding. Wait.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
This is a Leia.
Oh, hello, shalom to you.
Shalom. Leia.
Oh, yeah.
She's a world traveling dog.
Oh, where have you been with her?
She's a year old. I got her and then we took her to Italy for a month and she's going to France next month. So.
Are you performing in these places or just sightseeing and going as a sightseer?
I was just sightseeing, but I will perform in them. I perform in Greece a lot but right
I have performed in Greece too, and getting it off my skin is just so, and I don't do it anymore. I just do suntanning thing. But so let me ask you, let me tell you first of all, thank you for being with us in the Daverhood today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. I would have you anytime. No, just kidding. Just tell us about the Heat is, because obviously we can see a resemblance with the Rita Hayworth thing, but why a cabaret show about her? We don't necessarily see her as a singer, a songstress person. So.
Right. Well, her life is so fascinating, and it's not your typical cabaret show. It's actually a one-woman show. We played in performing arts centers and casinos around North America, in big theaters and BB King's with the big band. But coming out of COVID, my husband wanted me to come back to where I started my career at Don't Tell Mama. And so it was so successful. I won the Bistro Award last year and I got a MAC nomination. And so he wanted me to come back before we go touring in the theaters in November. So we're doing a residency of 7 shows. And we open on Monday night, the 22nd. And it's a 90-minute one-person show. And it uses the music from her films as well as from the fabric of her life. You know, that beautiful, all that music of the golden age of Hollywood.
Such as, hold on, I get this, but what are some of the songs that you actually do?
Well, I, of course, Put the Blame on Mame and Amato Mio from Gilda. But a lot of people, a lot of the songs that she did were from famous musicals like Pal Joey. So we do Zip and CoverGirl, Long Ago and Far Away. I'm Old Fashioned. Well, I do That Old Black Magic as a tribute to her husband Orson Welles. Did you know she was married to Orson Welles?
I didn't know she was married. Do you tell a story about her marriage with Orson Welles in the show?
Yes, we tell many, many stories. She was married to Ed Judson, Orson Welles, Prince Ali Khan, Ed Hames, and Dick Hames and James Hill. So Rita Hayworth was the first American movie star to become a princess way
Before Grace Kelly.
Yes.
Oh my God! But let me tell us an Orson Welles story, even if it's in the show or not. Just give us Orson.
Orson Welles was the love of her life, supposedly, and they were married just short of 3 years. And they fell in love when she had volunteered to be an assistant in a magic act for the servicemen at the USO. And he was doing these great tented magic acts. And he used Marlene Dietrich and Judy Garland. And Rita Hayworth stepped in to be his assistant. And she said they fell in love while he was sawing her in half.
Was she being metaphorical? No, I don't know what that means. So, all right, but it only lasted 3 years because.
Well, Orson, she became the biggest star in the world, and his ego couldn't take it because she became Gilda. And then also when she had her daughter Rebecca, he had a lot of affairs and was wandering off, and he was very egomaniac. She just wanted a home, and he wanted the world. That seems to be the theme with all of her husbands. But the show is very optimistic, and it's really about the power that she had, the strength as a woman. It's women's empowerment, and it's sexy, and it's funny, and it's heartbreaking, and it really, you know, she was the first star to have Alzheimer's. And Carter Inskeep, who wrote the book, he also wrote Always Patsy Cline.
Oh yeah.
And it's just so beautifully presented and loving and empowering and inspiring for all of us to really step in. And I know you just radiate juiciness of life. And that's really what this show is about no matter what comes your way, you pick yourself up and you accentuate the positive and you move forward. And
but you're not Jewish, because I accentuate the negative. This is the depressing, the grim, the tragic. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of wondering how you do that latter stage of her life on stage when she's got the Alzheimer's, to go up there like that old black kid, refrigerator, that's in my foot. I mean, how do you do that?
No, I give a monologue about it, and then she takes her power back and ends with Put the Blame on Mame, because she takes responsibility of the choices that she made in her life. And well,
you can't connect those directly with, that's not fair to say this and this and this and her mistakes gave her Alzheimer's. It's going to happen.
I'm not saying that at all. But at the end where she's discovering and searching for the meaning of her life, because her character is kind of in this limbo place, and she has to.
Aren't we all?
Yes, we all are. So she has to discover the mystery of her life before she can move on to wherever that next place is, and she does.
So let me ask you: since she had all these husbands, all these men, how did you meet your Bashert? You mentioned your husband. Who is he? How did you meet him? How long you been, etc., and so forth?
He is amazing. His name's Paul Horton, and we met 20 years ago. Not, don't tell him. I met him when I was 2. So anyway.
That makes him a pedophile. We don't want to go there. So
no,
maybe
that's
we'll
true.
rework your backstory on this. Yes.
Yes, I'll rework that. Anyway, I was single at the time and I was asking the universe, I was like, can I please find my soulmate? And I was also asking for like a manager that would take me from small venues into major theaters. You know, and I did all the research and I did all the work and preparation, and I had targeted him as a manager that I wanted. And so he finally met with me, and it all came together. I didn't know that in the universe
Literally.
I'd
Yeah.
get my soulmate and best friend and my husband and my manager and producer. And we've had an incredible time together, worked together. We've produced many shows and directed many shows. And this version of this show is his idea. And unfortunately, 2 months ago, he unexpectedly passed away. So my heart has been breaking. So it's very cathartic for me to be doing this show for 7 months, and in his honor.
I'm sorry, I did not. I did not know that. I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
Wow.
Nobody knew that. So I mean, people in my community.
In your community, yeah.
Yes.
Was it? I mean, an accident or what the hell?
No, he got COVID, and the COVID created sepsis within 48 hours. It was awful. So.
And this was just 2 months ago when everybody was thinking COVID was COVID. Who gives a?
It's not. It's a real thing. I mean, he was autoimmune compromised, but I mean, he was only 53, a gorgeous, talented, brilliant, vibrant man.
Was he? Did he start as an actor or a performer?
No. He was a drummer and he was a composer, but his whole career, he worked with Chuck Berry and B.B. King. I mean, he worked with every major artist, you know, in the R&B world and then in the cabaret world. He took Carrie Hoffman and put him with his Sinatra show into.
Oh, yeah, yes. He's been. We've had him on the. Carrie Hoffman, was that his name?
Carrie Hoffman. My Sinatra.
Yeah, yeah, no, he's been on the.
Yeah.
Somehow the name is almost. But anyway, no, all right, may have been Carrie Hoffman. Yeah. Tell us. Well, your husband must have told you all these stories about working with all these rock and rollers. Does he? Did he have a very story? Yeah.
Our other dog, Zoe, we had a white Shitese, and Chuck Berry, we got her because of Chuck Berry. He did a big commercial and we had to go I was performing on Long Island at the Tillis Center, and all of a sudden he got this huge deal, and so we got her, and then we grabbed her and took her on the road and took her to Chuck's house and did a Japanese radio commercial, and so he became her godfather.
Wait, you took her, so you met Chuck Berry, yourself?
Yeah.
Tell us about it, because we know the stories about him being like, you know, give me the briefcase full of money first, and then I will. But what personal memory do you have aside from bringing your dog to Chuck Berry?
I mean, I only spent the day with him, but he was very eccentric. And Paul, and then there was another agent at William Morris that were the only people that could deal with his craziness of changing the flights. And Paul actually took him to 2 tours of South America, and broke him into that market. And Paul just had a way of working with him. But he was like, he had his tractors on his farm in St. Louis, and this crazy recording studio that was ancient. And he like, all these Japanese executives came thinking that he was going to spend all day recording this
Commercial thing, yeah.
And he's so brilliant, he could knock it out in one take, of course, right? And he's eccentric but brilliant.
Who else? You said you playing at B.B. King. You did your show at B.B. King.
I
Your
played
husband,
at B.B. King, but Paul worked with B.B. King.
right?
He booked him many times. He's booked almost every R&B artist. He was at ABC before he created Century Artist Management Agency, and that's his company. And then together we produced the Ultimate Queen Celebration, which I'm still producing and directing. And I have a wonderful artist, the last artist we had was Mark Martel, who went on to do the voice of Freddie Mercury in the film Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, you mean when he sang with the singing voice, so the actor
Yeah,
Rami Malek didn't do the boy. Okay, got it. Yeah.
No, Mark did like they mainly used Freddie's voice, but when they were doing like like in between songs that they didn't have Freddie to sing, they used Mark. And now I've got this incredible artist, Yves Pedneau from Canada. And so we just launched him here in the United States last month. And I directed and produced it on my own without Paul, but Paul was in the house, the promoter. We did it at the Suffolk Theater, which is this gorgeous theater on Long Island. And the promoter who also used to do Patchogue Theater, we produced many shows with him together. And when all the haze and the smoke came in, he's like, Paul Horton's in the house. Because my husband was so theatrical and loved all that look of 80s rock. And I mean, the lighting, everything was just spectacular. So I'm just really proud of my artist. And we also created a David Bowie show, Rebel, the Many Lives of David Bowie, and Pink Floyd show, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the World.
Oh, I don't know. Roger Waters for me, that anti-Zionist, anti-Semite son of a bitch. Now, I'm going to all the others, but will not set foot in even a Pink Floydy. I won't even go to Red or Chartreuse Floyd. I won't even go near those places ever at all. Now, I don't mean to have Paul Horton dominate the company, but since did he know any other major rock or rock and roll people?
He knew B.B. King, and he knew Dionne Warwick. I mean, he knew everybody. His uncle was Ronald Wilford. He was the CEO and president of Columbia Artists Management Agency.
Oh my God, yes.
So, I mean, all of the classical artists, and he was the major producer for Stomp, or investor for Stomp, and toured that around the world. So Paul grew up in the business side of the business of the music industry.
So who is the most, whether with Paul or not, they're like idols that you have met, where you're like, I can't believe that I'm shaking hands with, or singing with, or directing, or some so-and-so? Who?
I think the one that I met that I was the most excited was meeting Anne Margaret backstage. She is one of my idols, and I sing a lot of her songs on my albums. And I obviously I love her. I love Rita, but I've got kind of the playfulness of Anne Margaret, and I just love her albums and her.
Is there a show in her? Have you thought, at some point, maybe a cabaret thing event? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could. I haven't thought about it, but I think you're right. Maybe I should do a show on the music of Anne Margaret. I did.
Bye bye birdie.
Algonquin, when they had the Oak Room, I did Julie London, Rita Hayworth, and Anne Margaret. I did a tribute to them. So my redheaded girls, right?
So, by the way, not fair to ask, but are you actually a redhead, or is this just a thing? I'm not going to ask you to show anything, but you are now. Okay, I was just curious. But you made that choice, probably before the whole Rita Hayworth thing, because you were red in the burlesque show too.
This is my hair is red. I just make it redder.
Oh, that's what I was kind of wondering. I was kind of,
Yes, that's my burlesque show, right?
Yeah. Hey. Now, in your burlesque show, which I assume you still do sometimes, you don't do the nudity thing, but what do you get out of the burlesque? Were the songs of the era, or the movements, or what?
Yes, it's the show is called Burlesque to Broadway, and it's a celebration of the women that went from burlesque Broadway and beyond. So it's like a Bette Midler concert. It's not like a burlesque show, like
I know. Yeah.
We headline casinos and performing arts centers, and so what I did was Paul and I, Paul said you need another show, and I was really interested in Gypsy Rose Lee, because she wasn't. What did she do? What was her act? And I read I always was an avid reader of the history of this music and of burlesque and of the movies. But when I started researching it, I didn't really like her character. And so I didn't want to, even though I admired her, I didn't want to devote a show to her. And because I was like, because the question was, who was Gypsy Rose Lee beyond the musical Gypsy? Like, who really was she as a woman? Not as
She wasn't nice. She wasn't.
just like her mother. And so, but in reading this, I started reading about Fanny Bryce and Sophie Tucker and Sally Rand, and then there's Cher and Bette Midler and Abbott and Costello and Gracie and George Burns, Gracie Allen and George Burns, and
Well, wait, are we pushing into vaudeville now, or just for yeah? Well,
both.
yeah.
So what I did was I tied my story with my Granny Lemley, who lived behind me. And every day I would go after school and she'd either put in those 8-track tapes of like all the great big bands or like jazz. And then we'd watch all the movies and read all the biographies of all the movie stars. And she also introduced me to Gypsy Rose Lee and Sally Rand and told me about these women and how powerful they were, because they created jobs and created and invented themselves in a time where women didn't really do that. And even Sally Rand, she out of necessity, she was a Quorine who couldn't get work, and she rode in on the World's Fair as Lady Godiva with her braid on a horse, and then she created the fan dance, which has become legendary, and she performed into her 70s as the highest paid burlesque dancer.
Right on.
Yeah.
Why not? Why? I think Senator Dianne Feinstein should be doing a fan dance. I think this would keep her on the floor of the Senate. She'd be like,
oh, McCarthy, here I am.
we're talking with Quinn Lemley. I want to remind everybody you can get tickets to see her at Don't Tell Mama. It's this Monday evening, May 22nd. Now go see her. And then you're going to want to see her again. Well, guess what? If you wait a month, you can, because she's doing this every month at Don't Tell Mama. There's one in June, July, August, September, October, and then it stops, at least for now, it stops in November, on November 20th. But do go get your tickets to see Rita Hayworth. The heat, is on. Now, more questions for you, though. I wasn't expecting you to talk about such a tragic thing earlier, because the only tragic thing I ever saw, and it didn't turn in, thank God, into, so it was that back in 2016, your mother and your sister were apparently in this terrible car crash. Is this, I read that somewhere, or maybe it's a different, is there a different Quinn Lemley?
Oh, yes, they were in a car crash. How did you know that?
It's called research. Well, you forgot that it happened in 2016. They were in this thing. You got a phone call.
Yes, my sister was in the artisanal marshmallow business.
Wait, stop, just stop. The artisanal marshmallow business. What is the artisanal marshmallow?
Well, she's not in any.
Big shock. What was it?
She did very well. She won all these awards. Martha Stewart loved her.
What competition was there? How many people entered an artisanal marshmallow competition? Oh, you're first, second, and third. No, seriously.
Yeah, no, she had a company called 240 Sweet, and she made these fabulous flavored marshmallows and went to all these food shows. And so she was doing the bourbon show, or bourbon and Scotch show in Brooklyn. It was like a pop-up kind of thing. And she and her partner and my mom were there. And so Paul and I went to visit them, and they were driving back to Indiana, and they were on the highway outside of Cincinnati, and a car came down the highway off the ramp in the wrong direction. And Paul and I were on the phone with my mom at the time, and we were in Brighton Beach, and we went to that market, that beautiful market, and we had gotten rabbit, and we were going to try to do like a rabbit fricassee. And my mom was saying, and make sure you use wine. And she worked with Julia Child, and so she's like telling us all this stuff, and we're in the kitchen trying to make this rabbit, and all of a sudden we heard the impact.
You literally on the phone while it's only. Oh yeah.
And her phone was her phone was open. You know, the line was open as the ambulance came and everything. And thank God, they were all fine. My mom had to have her elbow redone, but she did the physical therapy, and she, my mom is just incredible. She's my hero. And my sister and my sister-in-law at the time, they were in the front seat, and they had to do physical therapy, but they were fine.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the driver that came, they were in an SUV, like in a Suburban, and the car came down the wrong, yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's just, but I'm thrilled that now is your mom still there?
Yes, she's here. Yes, I decided, with Paul not being here, we were gonna go to Italy for a month. And so in August, and so my mom is turning 84. She's still fabulous. And so I said, Mom, our favorite place in the world would, before I met Paul, she would always do archaeological digs in Greece every summer. And I would meet her there. And then we'd do like different islands, or we'd go to the Peloponnese.
This proves to me that none of these people are Jewish. No Jew would take a vacation. What are we going to do? Oh, we're going to do hard labor. We're going to go with the ground and shovels and dig and dust things. This is what Jews want to get away from for a month. No, Goyim is like, oh boy, it's hot and sunny. It's 95 degrees. I'm schwitzing, I'm melting, I'm dying. Let's pick up shovels and move earth from one place to another. What is wrong with you people? I do not understand. And this is why they create like artisan marshmallows. Like crying out loud. But yeah, please go.
Yeah, no, so I said to her, I thought, we don't know what tomorrow is going to be. And my mom keeps saying, oh, and when I do my nightclub act in Athens, I sing Anita O'Day's song, An Occasional Man. And anyway, so my lead up of this is I tell the audience, and they're all these big burly Greek men, and it's the hottest jazz club in Athens at the Half Note. And I'm like, I said, I've been to all of your fabulous islands, Rhodos and Samos and Mykonos, and the most romantic place in the world, Santorini, with my mother. And they're like, no, it's not possible. So Paul and I never got to go to Santorini, and my mom wants to go. And so I was like, you know what? I'm feeling the Aegean, and I need to take my mom.
Yay! Yes. I'm so thrilled to hear this. We have just a couple of minutes. I have just a couple of minutes to stay. You're staying. You're sticking around. You're going to play the wonderful quiz thing. I'm
like a quiz.
Well, yes, you got the trivia quiz. It's coming. It's coming into a couple of. Don't panic. Don't panic.
I'm nervous.
It's a stupid, ridiculous, pointless quiz that nobody gets anything right in. That's why I love it. But I still have a little bit more to ask of you. First of all, were you, a little confused. Were you ever on Shark Tank?
I was a finalist. Paul and I were a finalist for Burlesque to Broadway. We made it to the very end, and it's a reality show. And so we spent 6 months with the producers preparing our segment for our ask for the Sharks. Rarely do they do entertainment or, live theater or anything like that. But we came out in our thing within the fans, and we were like, hi, Sharks. And we had this great bit. And then they tell you the week that you're supposed to fly out, but they keep you off center because it's a reality show. And before that, I had a friend from Toastmasters come over who does numbers and statistics. And I said, would you look at my my spreadsheet of my estimate of what we're going to make. And I had my historicals. I mean, it was like going to grad school for like a master's, getting ready to present, your financials for the Sharks. So we were looking for a certain amount of money. And she said, I love it. I love your pitch. I love everything. And if the Sharks don't bite, I would love to be your investor. Well, the next day, the producers called and said, we want you on next season. And I didn't want to wait a year because I have youth, I have to get up on stage with these 5 hot girls. And so the next day I had my investor for more than what I thought that we were going to get, because, the Sharks take so much. And she became the perfect partner because she's very mathematical and scientific. And then Paul and I are very, idea oriented and colorful and risk takers, and we're producers, so we know how to produce. And we toured all over North America. We're going to go back out and,
What was the actual thing for? What were you touring with? What were you
Burlesque to Broadway.
Oh, brother, so that was you're going to be. Oh, I guess.
Yeah, that because we wanted to go to the conferences. We wanted to do a CD. We wanted to do so many things, and we wanted to expand it from 2 backup singers to 4. So there are 5 of us. We did that. We added some songs, and so we had orchestrations, and all of that costs money and investment, and more costumes. More feathers,
absolutely.
Sequins, feathers and fans. You would look good in some sequins feathers.
Well, look what I can do. Look at this. Look at the tassels.
I love it. You can do your tassels.
I do tallis tassels. It's fantastic. Now, unfortunately, I have to get back to my shul. My parishioners are waiting for me to finish my sermon. But Quinn Lemley, first of all, she's sticking around for a little while to play the game. And go see her this Monday night at Don't Tell Mama doing Rita Hayworth. The heat is on. Get your tickets at Don't Tell Mama, and don't tell everyone that she's staying. I'm going. Dave is coming back to do more of this program. Dave's gone by, and yesterday trivia quiz. Don't go. Actually, we can't play music because of copyright stuff. But could you just sing just a little bit of a cappella, if you don't mind, if it's okay with you? One of the songs that you do in The Heat Is On.
Put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on the rabbi. The rabbi did a dance called the Hitchy Coo. That's the thing that slew McGrew. So you can put the blame on Maine. Dave.
Hi.
On Maine. Hi.
This is Quinn Lemley, by the way. If you've just tuned in, Quinn Lemley is with us in the Daverhood. Let's get that light going. In the Daverhood on our 895th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. Joining us right now is Stuart Brown. Stuart is the founder of a website of theater show tunes 24/7 called soundsofbroadway.com. It's been running for a few years now. Stuart was on this is the thing, we had him on one of our Tony Award specials that we did over the couple of years ago, and he didn't even remember being on this program. I'm typing with him because there was a mistake on one of the quiz things that they send out. And he said, he's like, I'd really like to be on your show. And I'm like, you were. And he had no recollection of it. That makes me so happy. But Stuart Brown is back with us. He's going to play the Today, Yesterday trivia quiz alongside the lovely Quinn Lemley, and logging on as we speak, David Sheward, who is the former president of the Drama Desk. He's also the former managing editor of Backstage, and he is currently a theater critic for theaterlife.com, culturaldaily.com, and he has his own blog, The David Desk. So welcome, by the way, to each and every one of you. How you all doing?
Good morning.
Great.
Morning. Good.
Dave, you're looking good. You're all dressed up today. You're not in jammies or anything. Are you going to the theater? Or are you?
I have no pants on. I have a nice shirt.
Well, Quinn Lemley does a show called Burlesque to Broadway, so you're really halfway.
I do have something on down there, but
I figured. And Stuart, how are you?
I'm good. A little under the weather, but doing fine.
Oh, okay, good.
But, when it comes to trivia, I'd have to be on my deathbed not to participate.
Oh, are you one of those people who goes to local bars and things and does the trivia games with people around the table and all that?
No, only Broadway trivia.
Oh, okay. Every once in a while we have a Broadway question, but these questions are from every possible ridiculous angle. You're not really even supposed to necessarily get them right. Half the time you're guessing, but that's the fun. It's just the fun of hanging together, trying to puzzle out what the answer might be out loud. Doesn't even matter if you accidentally give away the answer to someone else. It's just all in fun. There's no prizes, alas. We're going to go on Shark Tank and ask for money to get prizes, but it just didn't happen. Anyway, but Stuart, before how long has it been? 5 years at least that Sounds of Broadway has been on. How long has it been on?
It's been 3.5 years.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3.5.
Sounds of Broadway. So I like to say it's the best from off Broadway, the London stage. And I have, oh goodness, over 650 cast albums. So it's it really does the whole gamut of the golden age up to the current, a lot of obscure stuff. My listeners love the obscure.
Mhm.
I just uploaded music from Shucked. I just got the cast album.
Yeah.
So so it's a wide berth of music. So everyone should listen to soundsofbroadway.com.
Sounds appropriate. And it's on 24/7. How is it? It's all, I assume, pre-recorded and then you load it up, or how do you do it?
Yeah. So what I do is I put together blocks of 3-hour playlists. And so I'll do a number of them, and then I just scatter them throughout the day. So I'll repeat. So if there might be a 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., maybe I'll repeat that on a few days later at 5 p.m., thinking people aren't going to be always listening 24/7.
Well,
So-
I will absolutely.
Well, that's good.
My wife Joyce says we really might have a prize for this one.
Oh.
We have a local yard sale literally today after the show. We're going to go, and this is one of the items that apparently is going to be that someone in the yard sale is selling.
It's a sad, floppy, pink and
It's-
purple horse. Yeah.
Is that
Ooh.
oh, it looks like a pig.
Yeah, well, the face is pig-like. I don't even know what the hell it is. So
I
you're
think
fighting for
it's
this potentially.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I think it might be sold. There are a lot of people bidding on it. It's a bidding war, so.
So
Bidding for a yard sale. Wow.
yeah. Oh, it's like a neighborhood yard sale. I'm really excited to go around and get crap. So, Quinn, can I ask you a favor? Since you're a brand new, latest person to the Daverhood, can you kindly think of a number between 1 and 6 and tell us what it is? I missed that. Was that my favorite number 5? 5. Yay! Okay, a woman after my own heart. 5 is the number for Quinn. Let me just write it. Here it is. Thank you. David? Oh no, sorry. Actually, no offense, David. Stuart. Let me.
Okay.
Stuart is the second. Has only been on. Stuart, what number are you going for?
We'll go 1.
Oh, nobody ever takes 1.
Yeah.
Stuart is 1.
That's what you said last night.
And David, what number would you like?
3. 3.
David Sheward with a 3. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a one-sided digital die. And go figure, it came up Leslie's number 6. No. 6 again. Oh, this is going to be horrible. 6 again. Come on.
There's less than today.
2. 6. Jesus Christ. 1. Holy crap. Okay, Stuart. So you get to decide. Would you like to go first, second, or third?
I'm going first.
Whoa! Brave man. Good
Yeah,
for
you know.
you, buddy. All right.
Take the bull by the horns.
He's confident.
He is. I just hit 4. This is basically the whole game. Here's 1 again. God damn it. 4. 4. 2. Wait, no. God damn it. 4. Talk amongst yourself. David Sheward, I just rolled a 3.
I will let Quinn go second, and I'll go third.
You will let Quinn go second. So it's going to be Stuart, Quinn, and then David Sheward in third place. What this means is we have 6 questions total plus a tiebreaker. So each of you will get to directly answer 2 questions, and each question is worth 2 points apiece if you get it right. If you get the question wrong, there's no penalty, but one of your other panelists, contestants, will get to try and answer and get those points instead. That's really the rules. And then the tiebreaker, we all play whether or not anybody's won by then anyway. So, barring any complications or anything like that, Stuart, this first question is going to be a multiple choice question, and it goes, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And there's no calling a friend, there's no looking on your phones.
No.
Yeah, there we go. The year was 1293. I don't think there's any cast albums that came out that year. 1293. Sancho, on this date, Spain's King Sancho IV of Castile grants a license for the Studium Generale, which centuries later would become the University of Alcalá. Alcalá is a city about 20 miles northeast of Madrid. Anyway, that's true about King Sancho. Which of these is false about King Sancho IV of Spain? A, although unpublished and unfinished during his lifetime, he compiled the first Spanish dictionary. B, an illustration in the Book of Punishment of King Sancho IV inspired an element of Picasso's painting Guernica. C, Sancho's own brother led a revolt against him, but Sancho pardoned him. Or D, Sancho's nickname was El Bravo, or the Brave. One of these is not true. The rest are true. Which one of these, and I can read them again if you need to, is false?
Well, it just so happens that early Spanish history is what no.
Wow.
Yeah, you think? All right, wait. I'm gonna roll my own digital dice here to see which one. I'm gonna go with the pardoning of his brother.
So you're saying it is not true. It is false.
Right.
King Sancho IV pardoned his brother, even though his brother led a revolt against him. So that is your final answer? As they
Yes.
say, wait, don't tell me. Well, pardon me, but that is not correct. I'm sorry, Stuart. That really didn't happen. Now, here's what happens. We get to roll the die another 1,000 times. 4. One is Stuart. 2, no. David Sheward, we have a
Yes.
3. So
Okay.
you get to steal this potential this question.
All right. So this is this Sancho guy who is not from Man of La Mancha. So he either wrote the Spanish dictionary, he did an illustration that's inspired Picasso, or his nickname.
David.
That was right. Is that it?
Wait, David, I'm sorry, but you're semi.
Oh,
You're
are you
turning into
frozen?
on Leslie this week. Oh, there you are. You're back. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay. Now I'm back.
Yeah.
I think you're frozen now. I think it's you. It's not me. Wait. There we go. Are you frozen?
You are.
Yeah. It says my. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
That's weird.
Yeah. Look at this.
My internet
Are you in
connection is
Leslie's building now?
unstable. It says.
Hold on.
Okay. No. Okay. Is this better?
Better. Okay, better. Yes. Okay, I think we're back.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
I hear actually the voice is being okay. It's the visual is more freezing than your voice. So what are your thoughts?
Now it looks okay.
Yeah.
Now I see you. We seem to be better.
Okay.
Although you're freezing sometimes. But you can hear me the whole time?
This is the air conditioning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Oh.
A moment ago.
Okay, all right. I'll say. Okay, so it's the dictionary, Pablo Picasso, or El Bravo, right?
Right. One of those is false.
All right. It looks now like everybody's moving the way they should be, because your eyes just blinked, and everybody's moving. So I think we're okay. I think maybe it's the weather. Anyway, I'll say he did not do a dictionary.
Is that your?
Did you hear that?
What I heard? Yeah, you're saying it is not true that he compiled the very first Spanish dictionary. You're saying that's false.
Yeah, I'll say that's false.
All right, hold on. Let me look this up. And the answer is C. Tú tienes dos puntos. You are correct, David Sheward. I made that up. He did not. David Sheward. Oh, the dangerous David Sheward on the board with 2 points. All the other things are true. About the first.
That was a total guess.
First Spanish dictionary didn't come until 1495. So literally about 200 years later. And all the other things that illustrate there was a book of punishment of King Sancho IV, and Picasso took one item from there and popped it into Guernica, all the other stuff was true. So well done, David Sheward. You are leading already on the board.
Oh, can I do my imitation? Can I do my imitation of Guernica?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, I'll be the hand holding the flower. There we
Yeah, this is the cow.
well, that's music to my ears, let me tell you. I'm
Now, is that the cow? Is that how they got the cow for Into the Woods?
Oh, maybe.
yeah,
Depending
even
on-
the cow. Yeah.
Depending on the puppeteer who designs the puppeting.
Well, you know, when you do a cow in a show, there's so much at stake. Anyway, sorry.
No.
I'm very sorry. I'm really, really sorry. We have our next question that goes.
I have another tangential joke which doesn't make sense, but I'll tell it later.
No, please. I love those.
Well, that brought to mind the cow is nominated for Best Puppet Design for the Drama Desk Awards. And it made me think that the sure way to get a Drama Desk nomination
How?
is to have puppetry, wigs, and stage fighting and be unique because they have all those categories.
But bad Cinderella didn't win, is closing.
That's irrelevant. Yeah.
They had lots of wigs.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But if you've got wigs and puppets, I'm not talking about
They
being
had
a smash.
fighting, like, you know, with the dueling.
Yeah, if you get, oh yeah, and if you have all those elements, you're sure to get a Drama Desk nomination.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may not be a success or a hit, but
Maybe at least you'll get those particular.
you'll get a Drama Desk nomination.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put wigs and puppets in my show.
Yeah. Then you can call it Quinn Lemley's unique puppet wig fight.
Yeah. Or wig out.
Did Rita Hayworth ever do a puppet? Maybe you can add that to your.
Yes. She'll
There
Take the wigs off and start beating each other with them.
Yes, beat the puppet with the wig.
Anyway,
To Joan Crawford.
That's my title. Beat the puppet with the wig.
that's the weirdest porn movie title I've ever heard. Anyway, we have a
And the
question.
image is that pink horse.
God. Our next question goes directly though to Quinn because you're second, so you get this next question for you. It's also a multiple choice.
Okay.
All right, and we move up so much further in time now because this question comes from 1896. By the way, the one thing I didn't mention is that a lot of these questions, the whole point of them is that they all happen on this date in history, on May 20th. So Sancho, on this date, he gave the license for the Studium Generale. In your case, on May 20th, 1896, tragedy ensues when one of the counterweights of the 6-ton chandelier of the Palais Garnier Opera House in Paris smashes through the ceiling and kills a patron while injuring 6 more. This incident inspired the classic scene in The Phantom of the Opera. It also inspired me to ask which of these is false about the Palais Garnier. A, when the venue first opened, Charles Garnier, who designed it, gave a speech that ran so long it delayed the start of the opera by more than an hour. B, construction of the Avenue of the Opera, a street that leads to the Opera House, was specially requested by Napoleon. C, the Palais Garnier is the first time in history that an architect put his signature on a building. Or D, banks near the Opera House would stay open late so the rich people attending could wear their jewelry and then put it in vaults before going home. Only one of these is false.
Okay. I love Napoleon, but I'm not sure if Napoleon was around at that time. So I would say the false one would be Napoleon.
So you're saying it is not true that the Avenue of the Opera was specifically requested by Napoleon Bonaparte. You're saying that is false. He wasn't there.
I mean, it seems like, given the way the boulevard is, that it's a very, grand thing that he would have done. But I just don't know I don't know my dates of when he was in office. So I'll say that because I think that the banks would be, they would want them to return the jewels. So I'll say Napoleon was not around at that time.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, it's my final answer.
I can't play music of the night on this thing. So, even though, Quinn, you are very much a breed apart, you are not a bone apart. So this is not a correct answer. It was, that road was very specifically requested by Napoleon. We have a steal opportunity. Now comes the best part of the show, the dice rolling. But guess what, Stuart? I just rolled a 1. So, you have
All right.
an opportunity. Let's see.
So let's see. We got the long speech. We got the bank staying open. And what was the third? Oh, the architect signed his name.
Right. One of these is false.
Well, as someone who has been to too many ceremonies when people just don't know when to stop, I'm going to say that's probably true. I'm going to say, let's see. So that would leave banks and signing your name.
Isn't that? Yeah.
I'm going with signing your name.
So you're saying it is not true. This is the first time that an architect signed his name on a building. Final answer? Sign your name across my bank. I'm sorry, but that's incorrect. No, it is true. That was the very first time that an architect, literally, it's on the ceiling. Charles Garnier put his name on the ceiling. So David Sheward, you already have 2 points. You have a steal opportunity for 2 more points, and you got 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a choice between somebody gave a really long speech and delayed the opera by nearly an hour, or the bank stayed open so that the people could deposit their jewels in the vaults after the opera. They both sound very plausible. They really do. Let me see. So I got a 50-50 chance here. The bank, I mean, logically, I should say the bank one, because the long speech one is so ordinary. But the bank one is so outlandish. I think that's true. I'm going to say the long speech one is, but wait a minute, it's an A. The last question was A for the dictionary. So I don't think you're going to do 2 A's in a row. So I'll go with the banks who did not stay open.
So you're saying that is not true, that banks
Right.
do this thing for the rich people. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Well, I'm afraid that answer was bankrupt, David Sheward. I
Oh.
did do 2 A's in a row, and I stumped the panel on this one.
You tricked me.
Yes, it was not true. And as a matter of fact, this God, are you all right, Stuart? You're like, what? You have a cold? You have, what do you got? You're just.
Yeah, I'm thank God there's a mute button on this thing. Yeah, I have a cold. So but I wouldn't miss this. So even though my wife was yelling at me, I said, nope, I can't let down David. So
I mean, if you want to bring your wife on to yell at you on camera, that makes for great TV. But
yeah.
let me explain what happened. Charles Garnier, who was the architect who did sign the thing on the thing, however, he did not give loans or anything like that. As a matter of fact, because Charles Garnier was selected by Napoleon to put the opera house together and to do it, the regime after Napoleon came in and wanted to ignore all traces of the Second Empire. So Garnier wasn't even invited to the opening of the opera house that he designed. He had to pay for his own ticket to attend. So
Wait, I'm gonna go. I'll be in Paris next month. I'm gonna go see it, and I'm gonna ask people these questions.
How exciting!
Yay! Oh, yay!
I'm gonna
So
see if other people know your questions.
and it was actually Napoleon. He wanted a safe way. He loved the opera. He wanted to get from where he was living to the opera house, and he had that road specifically constructed for himself. So yay! Anyway, we still have a 2-point game with David Sheward in the lead. But we have one more question in our first round, and it goes directly now to Stu Brown, the founder of soundsofbroadway.com. So
Didn't
Stuart,
he go first?
I'm sorry, what?
Didn't he?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
David Sheward gets this question.
Yeah, I get this question.
David. I
Whoops.
thought I'd be able to.
No, my fault. I'm sorry. David, it's another multiple choice.
Okay.
And it's something that happened on May 20th. The year was 1908.
All right.
Born today in Indiana, Pennsylvania, is James Maitland Stewart, destined to be one of the most beloved actors in Hollywood history. Which of these is false about Jimmy Stewart?
Okay.
A. When he enlisted to fight in the Second World War, he was underweight, so he went home, gained some pounds, and tried again successfully 3 months later. B. When he won the Oscar for the Philadelphia Story, his father kept the trophy on display for 25 years in his hardware store. C. In one of his appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Jimmy Stewart read a very short story that he wrote about his son's pet mouse. Or D. When they were filming Destry Rides Again, he got Marlene Dietrich pregnant and she went for an abortion.
Huh.
One of these is false.
Okay. Well, okay, I'll try and do this correctly. Let's see. Well, I know I gave my dad that trophy. I can't do a good Jimmy Stewart. B is absolutely true. I remember hearing that he gave his father the Oscar for the Philadelphia Story. So B is true. I wish I'd read. I did read Marlene Dietrich biography many years ago, but I don't remember that about her getting pregnant on Destry Rides Again. And her having an abortion. Did you say she had an abortion?
The thing is, yeah, she got pregnant when she was doing Destry Rides Again, allegedly, and allegedly went for an abortion, allegedly.
Allegedly. All right. So you're saying that's
I can't say whether it's true or not because also.
Well, you're saying if true, it's
true, yeah,
it's out there somewhere, or rather, there's it's out there. Well, you're not going to do 3 A's in a row. You're just not. So it's the A is true. B is true. So it's either he read. I know that on the Tonight Show he would read poems, and I don't know if he read stories. So it's either C or D. I think you're being tricky, and he didn't read a story. Maybe he read a poem about his son's cat as opposed to his son's mouse, or something like that. So I'm going to go with C.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's not true that he was on the Tonight Show reading a short story about his son's pet mouse. No.
I'll say that's not true.
Well, what can I say? Yes, my God, David Sheward, 2 more points. It got me on this one. It wasn't another A, and I was being tricky because, and I just saw this clip yesterday, and he went on, as you say, I guess he did this a few times, but he brought a poem, and he did do a poem about his dead dog. It was at first you think it's doggerel, and then it becomes kind of funny, and then you're like, it's quite a wonderful segment. But he never did anything about a pet mouse or something. It wasn't a short story. He actually read a poem.
Yeah, I know he read poems quite a few times on the Tonight Show.
And what's kind of interesting, that he did this, it was 1981, just the night before Charles and Di's wedding. So it was, they even mentioned that in the thing.
One other tangential thing. Today is May 20th, but what special day is that in musical theater history?
Oh.
May 20th?
Yes.
Is it related to something that happens in a show? Or
it's something that is mentioned in a show?
Quinn? Stuart, for gosh sakes, you have 650 cast albums.
Why is the 20th of May a special musical theater day?
It's May, the lusty month of May.
It's very warm for May.
No. Shall I tell you?
Yeah.
Well, can you give us another hint? Maybe a little extra hinty thing.
Someone sings about it in a song, in a fantasy of something she will do on this day.
Oh, is it Oklahoma? What's her name? Carousel's girl? When she's gonna? No.
Next week on the 20th of May, I proclaim Liza Doolittle die.
Oh my God! How do you like that? So it's from Bad Cinderella. No, I can't.
And
Again.
Spider-Man,
Man, turn off the dark. Yeah, just turn the dark off, all the way off. No, how did you? Wow. And we should all know that one. Good question, David.
Shame.
0 points for me. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry to say that David Sheward has 4 points now in our game. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention. Again, it's not 100% confirmed, but it's generally known that Marlene Dietrich blamed Jimmy Stewart for I mean, he got her pregnant, strong-arming her to abort the kid. But then again, she might have also just been mad that he moved on to Olivia de Havilland after he was dating her in Death Street. Stuart, you seem to know, you were sort of nodding about the, what, tell me.
No. I just, I like David's rationalizations of, I think he can be a guest on Wait, because he.
I know,
does
right?
a-
Speaking of things to do and quizzes, everybody should also sign up. If you're going to listen to soundsofbroadway.com, you should sign up to get the reminder emails every week, because not only does it tell you what's going to be on soundsofbroadway.com, but what you have on there that you click on, and it's really fun.
Oh, game.
Yeah, I have either like a weekly trivia or a crossword puzzle. I do a weekly full cast recording, so I talk about that. I'm doing my pithy Tony reviews each week for different categories, and theater news, theater history. So, and also I do a bi-monthly podcast, so I'll talk about that. One of the things, unfortunately, I'm doing the complete Stephen Sondheim. So I have Rick Pender, who is a Sondheim scholar, and he and I have been going through every single Sondheim musical. And unfortunately, the record label said, remove all the songs unless you want to pay us a lot of money.
Wait. I asked you this when you were on the show about ASCAP and BMI.
Yeah.
You were allowed to play on your.
Yeah, podcasting is the Wild West. So it doesn't come under that. I thought it did, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Nope.
So is it Nonesuch, or who's he on? Or Columbia? What are they?
Warner Chappelle.
Warner's a bitch. Warner's, yeah.
So anyway, but I want to, every time I upload a podcast, so that's in the weekly newsletter. So I just uploaded, Rick and I just talked about a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Also, I interview a lot of authors. So anyone that's written a book on musical theater, I've probably interviewed or will be interviewing them. So
do you have a schedule posted on soundsofbroadway.com, or you just kind of have to figure out when things are on?
No, there's a schedule. If you go, there's a schedule button and it tells you when everything is. And like I said, if you go to send me an email, Stuart@soundsofbroadway.com, and I just pop you onto the newsletter. And so it's
everybody do it. Now,
yes.
What we have to do is get to the second round of our Today Yesterday trivia quiz on this Saturday, May 20th, 2023. We're doing the 895th edition of Dave's Gone By. We're calling it the Mighty Quinn. What else would we call it? Because we're joined by Quinn Lemley, who's going to be at Don't Tell Mama on Monday night doing Rika Hayworth. The heat is on. And if you miss it, she's going to be doing it once a month for the rest of the year. Plus, we have David Sheward, who writes for culturaldaily.com, theaterlife.com, and also has his blog, The David Desk. We'll talk about that towards the end of the segment. But let's get back to some trivia questioning. So, Stuart, you wanted to go first. You again go first in this next round.
Okay, let's hope I get to more of the 20th century.
Well, actually you do, because you have a very special, different kind of question that we do.
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
That's my lovely wife saying, oh, no.
You do this one.
It's called, here we go, 3 Clues in the News.
Okay.
So 3 Clues in the News is a little different. It's quite different. What I'm going to do is read 3, or say 3 words. These words are not connected to each other. They're random, except that each of these words connects to another word, and they all connect to the same word. So it might be something like blank word or word blank, and the word that they all connect to is something to do with something in the news this past week. Let me give you a non-news example. So this is not the actual question. This is a fake version of the question. If I were to say, the three words were sweet, couch, vegetable, what word springs into mind?
Compost.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Well, although I don't know how much compost you eat that's really sweet. What's another word that might sweet blank, couch blank, and what might be a vegetable?
It's only one word, John.
Yeah, what's a word that would go with each of those that would connect? And Quinn, you can do this too, because this is not the real. Oh, Quinn, why don't you go for it?
Sweet potato,
Yes.
potato.
Potato.
Nice.
Potato is the word. Got
Yeah.
it? So that's how it works. Now, potato isn't in the news, but we're looking for a word that is in the news this week that connects to three words I'm going to give you, Stuart, for your question. Are you ready? Here we go. The words are fan, cathedral, glass. I think David has it. David probably has
And the word I'm looking for comes after all
it.
those.
Or
Or
before.
before.
Oh,
It can be before or after.
Okay, so we got fan,
Mhm.
cathedral, and
Glass.
ceiling.
Is that your final answer?
That's my only answer.
Well, I've got a feeling that you got ceiling. Well done. Well, that is the correct answer, Stuart.
Oh my!
Oh, yeah, don't get too excited. We don't
I know.
phlegm all over.
Wow.
Yeah, ceiling. So glass ceiling, cathedral ceiling, and ceiling fan. They all go together with the word ceiling. And why that word? You don't get any extra points, but why would that word be in the news this week?
The debt ceiling.
Bingo!
Yeah.
That's it. All the people fighting over the debt ceiling. Whoa!
I am good.
Yes, yes, you are, and you have 2 points.
Okay.
David has 4. Stuart has 2. Quinn, you don't have any yet, but the game is still young-ish, and we have a question that goes directly to you. So if you get on board, we can have a really cool close game. Here we go. So it is still a close game. So here we go. This is another multiple choice question of something that happened today, back in 1915. Here we go. Born today in pre-Israel Palestine is heroic general and cabinet leader Moshe Dayan. In 1941, Dayan would lose his left eye when a sniper shot through the binoculars he was using to spy on a Vichy French police station. Dayan's injury was such that he couldn't wear a glass eye, so he chose the iconic eye patch. Well, he's not the only famous person with a missing or blind eye, though. All of the following folks are completely blind in one eye, except who? A. Alice Walker. B. Johnny Depp. C. Rex Harrison. D. Terry Gilliam. Oh, I can hear you. You're muted. We're not getting your scream or something.
Rex Harrison.
There we go. So, okay, your answer, is that your final answer? Rex Harrison of all these is not blind.
Yes.
Liza, where the devil are my spectacles? Oh, I'm so sorry, Quinn, but yes, Rex Harrison was actually blind from childhood measles. He was blind in one of his eyes. So that is not the correct answer. Yeah, Sexy Rexy had dyslexia. Or
Rexy.
yeah, that's what they called him. Women loved him. He was apparently a jerk, but women just were all over him anyway. Time to roll the die, and it comes up with 2. Here we go. Here comes the fun. Here comes 6. 3. 3 is David Sheward.
Okay.
So,
So which of these people is not blind in one eye?
exactly.
All right. I don't think it's Alice Walker because you're not going to go back to A. You haven't done B. I don't know. It could be Johnny Depp. It could be Terry Gilliam. This is a total guess. So which of these is totally has 20/20 vision?
Yes, sight, right, yeah.
I'll say Terry Gilliam.
No.
Just a guess.
So you're
No.
saying Monty Python element director Terry Gilliam is not blind in one eye. Is that
Sure.
your final answer?
Yes.
Well, you don't need 12 monkeys to get 2 more points. David Sheward.
Oh,
Terry Gilliam has is completely sighted. Alice Walker, the author, was shot by her brother in a BB gun accident when she was a kid. She lost one.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. And Johnny Depp has been legally blind in his left eye since birth.
Really?
Who knew? I thought
Wow.
I punched it out, but no, he was blind since whatever. So yeah, so well done, David Sheward. Not a happy question, but it's a very happy question for David Sheward because he has 6 points, and you've essentially. We're still going to do the last 2 questions, but let's all congratulate David Sheward for already winning the game this week. Go David, well done, my man.
Thank you.
Aside from the fact that you get this last question anyway,
Okay.
so are you ready? This,
Yes.
I love these, is change one letter.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. So change one letter has to do with, I'm going to read a very short little poem. And there are 2 answers at the end of the poem. You'll come up with one name, and then the other answer that's worth the other point, you change just one letter of the first answer to get. So
Yeah, okay.
chances is one letter away from each other. So David Sheward, this is about someone who was born today in 1919 in Chicago.
Okay.
Here's the poem. He was a crew-cut comic and a lonesome Hollywood square. Change one letter, and you have a dynamite prize there.
Oh, well, it's George Goebel and the Nobel Prize, so Goebel Noble.
Wow.
Is that your final? Of course, it's your final freaking answer.
Sure.
Yes, David Sheward, 8 points on the board. Change one letter from George Goebel, Lonesome George, to the Nobel Prize because Alfred Nobel made his money making dynamite. So
David is
Did you-
smart. David, you're smart.
Did you think it was because not many people remember George Goebel?
Yes.
well, yeah. Just because you know, I always come across this. I'm like, you didn't know that? It's like, no, it's not part of their trivia circle thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was on Hollywood Square. When people say Hollywood Squares, they only think of Paul Lynde, but George Goebel was a regular on there as well, and Rosemary.
So did you get it from also the Lonesome thing, or what made
Yeah,
you?
he was also known as Lonesome George.
Stuart, would you have maybe gotten that one? Do you think you would have gotten it from that or the dynamite thing? No. That's why David Sheward is David Sheward, and that's why.
And I think David has a new career.
I know.
Yeah, you can't make any money off of it.
Well, actually, David, did you ever go on a game show? I'm sorry. Did you ever go on a game show? Did you ever try?
I have been on 2 game shows.
Ooh.
Was it? Oh yeah, I was on Cash Cab with my friend Diane,
Yeah.
and we won. But it was we only won like the top prize is $1,000, and we had to split it.
Aw. And the
And-
camera ride was $450.
Yeah. And I was on a game show called it was called Clash, and it was on Comedy Central. And it was on this channel called Ha, which was a precursor to Comedy Central before the 2 merged and became one thing. And it was a comedy game show where there were 3 teams of different people, 2 teams of 3 asking silly trivia questions like yours.
Thank you.
And-
Yeah.
And it was like, stay-at-home moms versus female top executives, beer vendors at ball games versus classy bartenders and things like that.
All right. Did that air, or was it?
And are you still there, or am I freezing?
No, I'm hearing. I'm saying, did that air?
It did air. I've got it somewhere on an old VHS tape. Somewhere.
Oh, wow. I would love. I wish you could bring that to Walgreens or somewhere, one of those places that'll upload it and whatever.
I think I've got it somewhere, but it's in the and it was really weird. There was we were on a show where the theme was Star Trek because there was this other previous episode where it was people who watch PBS versus people who watch Star Trek reruns. And the Star Trek people, one of their questions was, what position did Lieutenant Sulu have? And they said, oh, he was the helmsman. And the host said, oh, no, he was the navigator, which is actually incorrect. Chekhov was the navigator. So they had to be asked back. And so it was people who thought Chekhov was a helmsman versus people who thought Chekhov was a navigator. And we said, if you believe it or not, just say you think Chekhov's a navigator. I mean, Sulu is a navigator. And George Takei made a special guest appearance on video. And it was just silly fun.
Yeah, no, it sounds. I hope you say, but I hope you also maybe have the MP4 or whatever of the cash cab, because I would love to.
I'm not sure if I have that. Yeah, but it exists somewhere.
Well, anyway, what exists right now is the tiebreaker question, because even though David Sheward won rather handily, we still play one more question. We still do our tiebreaker, but we do it rather differently. So, do all of you have a writing implement and something to implement to write on? It can be a pen, a pencil, an anything. Quinn's gonna go get hers. You guys can go there. All this is, it's another question, but it's a short answer thing. You just have to write the answer.
And then you play the Occidental game.
And then you hold, I'll give a countdown of 3, 2, 1, and you're gonna hold your answer up to the camera all at the same time so that you all, instead of shouting out and stuff. So I'll read the question once and then give you time to write. Then I'll read the question again and give a 3, 2, 1. You ready? Here we go. In the news this week are 3 titles: Tattoo, Cha-Cha-Cha, Unicorn. What do these titles all have in common? Oh, I got him on this one. Ooh.
Say that again?
I'll read this again. In the news this week are 3 titles: Tattoo, Cha-Cha-Cha, Unicorn. What do these titles all have in common? Joyce, don't say it out loud, but I think you know this one.
What? You think I know it?
Yeah, I think you do.
Say it
Think
again.
about it. Think
Say
about it.
Again.
One more time.
Okay.
In the news this week, 3 titles:
Okay.
Tattoo, Cha-Cha-Cha, Unicorn. What do they all have in common?
I have no idea, David.
So our panelists are absolutely blanking out, which I get.
Are you sure this is real?
Oh no! Don't show your thing yet. We're going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown because you're all supposed to show at the same time.
I'll do the
Okay.
countdown.
And when you say title, as in
I tell you, I can't expand
elaborate?
because it would kind of give it away.
okay.
Oh, I know where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I do the countdown?
In a minute, yeah. If you don't know the answer, you're free to write down soundsofbroadway.com, or you're free to promote whatever you're promoting, or the heat is on, Brig Hayward, whatever, or you can guess.
You doing your countdown?
Not yet. I'm going to read the question one more time, and then you'll give it like a drum roll. So write down something, and when you guys are ready, I'll give a 3, 2, 1, and we'll do it. Okay, you guys all, Stuart's still writing, I think.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to read the question one more time. And then on 3, 2, 1, hold it up to the camera. In the news this week are these 3 titles: Tattoo, Cha-Cha-Cha, Unicorn. What do all these titles have in common? 3, 2, 1! Okay, I see Diane Feinstein. Tech people, soundsofbroadway.com, thank you. And dance competitions. And the answer is
Eurovision.
The closest was Dave, but the answer is that these were the first, second, and third winners. in the 67th annual 2023 Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh,
The winner was Lauren from Sweden. She had also won back in 2012 with her song Euphonia. Second went to Finland's Kanja for Cha Cha Cha. And you've got to see some of these acts. It's just amazing. And then third place, yay, an Israeli girl named Noah Kirel.
You know, who should have won the Serbians.
The
right?
Croatians were
Yes,
amazing.
the Croatians they did theater.
Yeah, David, if you want to see some, specifically all of you,
Yeah.
but specifically David, if you want to see something campy and amazing,
Yes.
go for the Croatian entry
Yeah.
for the Eurovision Song
Yeah,
Contest.
they often performed naked, and so they didn't, but they wore like fake underwear, heavy full makeup, glamour makeup, and trench coats.
And it was anti-war.
And they had a guy come out and shoot missiles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's an amazingly campy, wonderful thing. So you got to see it. Anyway, that
If
was
you like Eurovision, there's a Will Ferrell movie.
Yes, I love it.
That was so good.
It's so great.
Yeah, that was actually it was a really delightful film.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, this even though nobody got that right, David certainly walks away with 8 points. So we'll start with him. King David, tell
Hello.
us, have you written anything this week for theaterlife.com or culturaldaily.com?
I am working on something. I've been been kind of busy with other stuff. I'm working on a review of combining New York, White Girl in Danger, and Shucked. So my views on those shows.
They all go together. No. Now, how are you going to combine those?
Well, New York, and White Girl in Danger both have too much going on. There's too much. It's like this big, huge, hot mess in both shows, I believe.
That's what Joyce calls me sometimes. Yes.
I mean, do they work or do they don't work as a whole? Is it equal to the sum? Are they equal to the sum of their parts? And with both shows, I don't think so. And
I heard Shucked is fun. I heard Shucked is a lot of.
and then Shuck, on the other hand, is not trying to be anything other than just a funny, good time. So that's the contrast between those shows.
And are you writing anything for the David-esque blog this week? Or have
I've been writing about the news, about the Tony Awards, about, are they now they're on. The Writers Guild gave them a green light that they won't pick at them, so they will be going on, but without a script, evidently.
Wow, that's
yeah, people are just going to point. It's like, okay,
Well-
you come up here now.
And I didn't know that there was a writer's strike in 1988, and it was the same thing. And I remember watching the 1988 Tony Awards, and I don't remember there being a glitch or anything wrong.
But what I don't understand is how that's fair in the sense of, a script is not just dialogue. Somebody's out there planning who goes first, who's singing where.
Well,
That's a
well,
script.
the producer or the
Yeah.
producer, the writer doesn't necessarily, like the executive in charge will just say, okay, here's the running order. And the host comes out, says something.
It still takes a script. I'm sorry. I still think.
Well, it takes
say-
they're
Yeah.
saying, we're not going to push it because we don't want to hurt Broadway. And as long as you don't use, you don't have a writer, then we'll say it's okay.
I guess they won't have an opening number scripted specifically.
Right. They're not going to write special material. Special material would be under the WGA contract.
Well, that's David Sheward. You can read him, as I said, at culturaldaily.com, theaterlife.com, and of course the David Desk. And David, you're still a voter, obviously. Are you still part of the the drama desk? Because they're figuring out everybody's going to be voting like this week. So are you still higher up in the organization, or
I'm just a member. I used to be the president of the drama desk, but I'm just a member of the Outer Critics and the drama desk and the New York Drama Critics Circle.
They just announced this week.
Yeah, the Outer Critics announced their winners, which I did vote in, and the drama desks, the voting deadline for that is Thursday, and they'll announce their winners next week.
Cool. Now, Stuart Brown, are you a voter in any of because you do these reviews on the show?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, I'm a member of the Outer Critics.
Okay.
So I voted, was it last week or the week before? And this time of year, it's always fun, but it's always a little hectic because everyone wants to open at the end of the season. So, and I'm in Connecticut, so Metro North and I become very good friends. And, last week, I was invited back to see some shows. So I saw Shucked for the second time and to take my wife, and it was just as funny the second time around. So,
So I'll ask you real quick, Stuart Broadway, who's the founder of soundsofbroadway.com. What was your favorite play or musical of the entire season? Yeah.
Okay, so I am boiling it down to Some Like It Hot and Kimberly Akimbo. And I love Some Like It Hot. Wasn't crazy about the score. I just love Kimberly Akimbo. So I am gonna opt for that.
Really
I
the
think
musical version of David Albert's play from a few years
right.
ago.
Yeah, I think this season, I mean, some of the categories, I mean, you just flip a coin. I mean, everyone is so good. And speaking of Shucked, I think Alex Newell is gonna probably win for best featured performer. So it's great. I mean, there are a lot of really good shows, and I'm looking forward to seeing the production numbers because they could really, I mean, if they get, I'd love to see that tap dancing number from New York, high atop an unfinished New York skyscraper. I mean, it is
Kind of dangerous, actually.
well, and you watch it and you're thinking, no, don't fall. It is so well done. So I agree with David. The show as a whole, I wasn't crazy about, but I mean, great production numbers.
Well, very quick question. Last question for Stuart, though, is I don't think I'm going to be doing a Tony special like I usually do these years. I've been sort of out of the loop and haven't seen anything. So, but what are you going to do on soundsofbroadway.com on Tony? Are you going to play all the cast albums? Are you going to do something special for the Tonys?
I haven't decided yet. I have most of the cast recordings that have been released already on the station. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything or just, I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. Now, Quinn Lemley, do you get to see a lot of the Broadway shows? Have you seen any this year?
I saw Bad Cinderella, but I'm gonna go
That's the one you went to.
I'm going to see Some Like It Hot next week, so I can't wait.
Cool.
And I can't wait to see New York.
Nice. So, and everybody can't wait to see.
I've heard wonderful things about Shucked.
And of course, that hilarious and very tuneful Leopoldstadt is still playing. But
I saw that.
How was it? Did you like Leopoldstadt?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's a dark story. My friends on the wardrobe crew, my costume designer for Rita Hayworth is working on that show.
Oh,
so
cool.
Of course, I was there in the beginning.
So also with that show,
yeah,
sadly, that's my wife's father's story. It's like they were in Austria, wealthy family, and a lot of them got out, but so my wife hasn't seen that show, and I said, you are not going to see that show because it's just too real.
And you said the same thing about Shucked to her, which I don't understand. But anyway, everybody go see Quinn Lemley at Don't Tell Mama this Monday night doing Rita Hayworth. The heat is on. Plus, she'll be doing it once a month. So check. You have a website. It's quinnlemley.com, don't you?
And they can get reservations for the show at don'ttellmamanyc.com. But they can visit me at quinnlemley.com and sign up for my newsletter. And I'm always doing all kinds of things. So I would love for them to come and subscribe.
Well, I love that you guys came and played the game yesterday. I hope you all had a fabulous time.
Smarter. Don't you guys feel smarter? Well, David's already so smart.
I know, right? Mr. King, Mr. 8 points trivia guy. Everybody throw kisses while I remove you gently from the room. Thank you so much. Best of luck with all your projects, with Sounds of Broadway, with Theater Life, Cultural Daily, and with The Heat Is On. Have a great one. Thank you again.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Keep waving. It takes a little time to do this.
All right.
And one more.
And one more.
And
David, I want to show you this Oxytol game on Google here.
so Joyce found this. I guess it's the Google Google literally brought this up today for whatever reason.
So you just snap and take pictures. I'm gonna show you.
It involves axolotls.
So
Why, I don't know, but here we go.
Just so you can see it, right? Here's the, watch what
Wait,
you
wait,
see.
don't show your, that doesn't show your phone
No,
number,
no,
anything,
no.
right? No, okay. Be careful.
Okay, watch.
So I got into
Okay,
axolotls
watch.
a few months ago. Just the idea of them. What?
And see, you swim, and so you go
Welcome
back.
to Lake Xochimilco in Mexico.
And
Last
you take
fall.
pictures. Here, hold that. When you go forward, you can take pictures. You gotta just touch the screen where you see an oxytotl, and
So-
then you take pictures. No.
Well, no,
Go
no.
Arrow.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
press the forward arrow. Okay, kind of see if you can spot and snap a picture of these rare creatures.
And then you go next, and then when you see them, you just touch it.
All
So
right.
when you touch it, when you see one,
Oh,
you
I
just
see
touch
it.
it. When you
Now,
see-
axolotl is this weird sort of fish thing that sort of looks like no. It's got. Is that an axolotl? I think it is. Yay! Yes, that's a, yay! I got one.
Yeah.
Axolotl can't read. Well, no, we know. Okay, fine. Did you know axolotls
Click
can't read?
Close the screen.
I'm gonna close the X. Okay, I'm gonna try and do this so that people can also see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There's
don't
one
we-
sleeping.
where?
Sleeping.
It-
You missed it.
oh, that's he's carrying the coffee. Yeah, no, good job. Good job. Why is Monday so far from Friday if Friday is so close to Monday?
Mm-hmm.
This is a very messed up game, but I love it. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna see more. Is he that thing? Oh, down. Oh, I missed one. It's a swimmy thing. No, he's a flag carrying. I missed him. No, I missed. Oh, I did get him. Did you know axolotls can breathe in and out of water? This is a true thing. So even though they have arms and
I was only
gills.
looking for pink ones. You're smart.
Well, well, I'm missing a few of them here. I'm trying to get the. Oh, wait! Ah! Oh, no. Better lake next time. That's just dumb. Well, there's one. Oh, come on! I got the tail. Oh, I gotta go. See that? I know what I'm going to be doing the whole rest of the day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be playing the axolotl game. This is actually really fun. There's one. He's cute. Oh, he's angry. What's wrong with him? Our amphibious friends even have a short story written about them. How famous? I don't know who.
I don't know.
Maybe one of the Mexican writers or something. Oh, there's one on a cycle there. As the coconut is not a nut, the walking fish is not a fish. He's an amphibian. Thank you for this. Thank you. I'm going to get to more of the show because we're going to go and do our yard sailing. But,
And funny enough, I think your phone's in the car. I don't see it. Did you leave it in the car?
either that or it might be in my pants.
Where are your pants?
Hanging from the pants hanging thing.
Can
So,
you talk? I'll be there 1 second.
well, I want to remind people, again, if you want to contact me, davesgoneby@aol.com is the way to do that. davesgoneby@aol.com. And I read everything I get. I don't necessarily have the chance to respond and write back. davesgoneby@aol.com. You can also, of course, message me right here on
You have
this
the same thing.
Facebook page. Did you find my phone?
I did.
Oh, great. And what else? Oh, we have a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2, and we also have an Instagram page, Dave's Gone By. So lots of ways to keep in touch and to see what's happening on the show, even in all the other hours of the week when sadly we're not on the air live. But we are on the air live right now, Saturday, May 20th, 2023, with the 895th episode of Dave's Gone By, with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife, Hoyce, and all of you watching at home, because we still have Greeley Crimes and Old Times, we have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and our Friends of the Daverhood to do. So it's going to be a fun rest of the show. Do not go away. So let's begin with a segment that is based on real things. This is two columns that appear every week.
Was he okay the other day? But he sounded very ill.
He said he had a cold.
Okay.
Just a cold.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And he's, you know how I am when I have a cold. I'm filling up,
Okay,
handkerchiefs
okay.
with goo.
I'm eating a pear, David. Please.
Well, you asked. I'm just saying. Greeley Crimes.
The weird thing is nobody's bought that big pink horse yet.
How do you know?
Because I see it out there.
He's still out there? And it's getting wet from the rain, too. It's going to be wet and stinky. I want to buy it.
I don't know if they're also gonna have stuff by the pool. We gotta go to the
Yeah, we got,
pool.
it's the neighborhood, it's the whole neighborhood yard sale.
But I thought it said by the pool club is where we need to go. That's where the main.
Well, that's the blank
the nexus.
pool thing, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
nexus. So let's go there
Yeah,
first.
yeah, I'll bring my swim trunks.
No, you wear your nice shorts.
I'll bring my swim elephant
Oh,
trunks,
it's
they're
so
huge.
cold. Is it?
No, I'm schwitzing, but then again,
Because you're
I'm
doing it now.
working. So, Greeley Crimes and Old Times, it mixes
Okay.
phone calls that come into the local police department in Weld County in Greeley, Colorado, from people just seeing weird things in the neighborhood that they want to tell the cops about, real phone calls, with things that were in the newspaper 100 years ago in the Greeley Tribune. It was then called the Greeley Tribune Republican. We mix these things up and we call the segment Greeley Crimes and Old Times. Ladies and gentlemen, Greeley Crimes and Old Times. So let's start with crimes. We're not going to do that many old times. Remember how for weeks we didn't have any new crimes? And I was going back and forth with Morgan McKenzie at the Greeley Tribune,
Yes.
begging her, saying,
She did it, yeah.
yeah. Now it's been almost 3 weeks, and there's been no old times. No 100 years ago.
David, you can't have everything. You gotta be thankful you have one or the other.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do some criminality because there's a lot of criminality going on in Greeley, Colorado. For example, a caller.
Wait a second.
There we are. A caller at a supermarket on 23rd Avenue said a man was
Yeah.
harassing customers,
Yeah.
messing with the electrical box,
What the heck?
and
Yeah.
urinating on the lawn.
That's a party right there. That's a party.
Aside from the fact that I'm hoping when he's messing with the electrical
He's
box,
not peeing,
he's not
yeah.
peeing at that moment on the
That
lawn.
was some kind of raver. What is a raver? He's on a
It
rave.
could be, or he was just wired. Then or he could have been pissed off.
Like it.
Hey, oh! Oh!
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an alert. I wonder if I still have this. I do have the theme. I'll play a little bit.
There ain't nobody here but us chickens.
Okay, that's all I can play because otherwise copyright. Stop it! It won't stop! Okay, good God.
Technology is taking over.
I know, right? It's
AI. We want to hear chicken song now.
because we have a chicken alert. We have a chicken alert.
It's beautiful.
A chicken alert just means that there's a
Can we
story
handle
about a
the
chicken.
alert and that big stuff.
And that big
one
stuff,
day?
well, I don't even know what that is. It's a caller on C Street who accused the letters, you know, they had A Street, B Street. There was even an O Street where the jail was
Oh, yeah.
back in Colorado. So this is a chicken alert because a caller on C Street accused neighbors of hiding chickens in their homes.
Oh God.
Of all the things that can, I'm not going outside. I think they mean in their yards and they have chickens and roosters and stuff, but in their homes.
Like, is that a chicken? No, that's my grandma.
That's my cat.
Why did grandma just lay an egg? Oh, grandma's very small and yellow. Who's that? Oh, that's Uncle Sam. What's he doing? Oh, he has a cough.
Wait, did you say he has a big cock? No.
Cough.
He has a big- yeah. No, but this would be the time of the year. Like a month ago, they would have bought those little chickadees in that store that we used to
Oh
go
yeah,
to.
for
And they could,
Easter,
yeah. Oh, well.
Don't
Anyway.
you want to hear about a chicken?
So here's a question for you.
Oh no, okay.
Is honesty really the best policy? A caller on Buckeye Avenue.
Oh no.
Did you know there's a Buckeye Avenue?
I like it.
The caller said neighbors were outside playing with a ball.
Yeah.
When the caller asked them not to hit the windows and cars in the area, they said they couldn't guarantee that.
Wow. That's like what do you call it? It's like your surgeon when you go in for surgery. It's like, well, we could do successful surgery and heal you, or we could cut your organs to shreds. We can't guarantee what you.
And please sign this
Yes, and
waiver
sign
saying
the
if we do
waiver,
cut your
yes.
organs open, we're not
Maybe
responsible.
those kids are gonna be lawyers. I think that's the Young Lawyers Association.
But I love that they're about to play like
I love
softball or
it.
stickball
I
or
think
something.
they're
It's
the
like,
Young
I
Lawyers
can't-
Association, dude.
that's really cool.
They're the young lawyers.
Let me tell you about a caller at a pharmacy on 23rd Avenue.
Oh, wait, hold on. A caller called the pharmacy?
Let
Called
me,
about the
at
pharmacy?
a pharmacy, maybe from the pharmacy, someone
Oh,
calling
wow,
from the,
okay.
the drugstore, the pharmacy,
Okay.
said someone came into the store wearing a headset and said, quote, "There's one in the front and one in the back." I have no idea.
There's a bathroom on the right.
It's like, what? It doesn't even, I have no idea.
Maybe he was singing to a song, you know, like he had the earphones on. He might have been saying, oh, there's one in the front, there's one in the back. Or
Oh, could have been lyrics, you're
maybe he
right.
was asking for a bathroom.
Yeah, or a threesome. I don't know. I can't
That's-
even begin.
That's the problem.
Ah. Now there's another caller. Oh, there's a caller on 8th
Oh,
Avenue.
hold on. Maybe they were asking for that refill. Sometimes it's so darn hard to get a refill. Maybe they're like, is there one?
Okay. A caller on 8. So you think it's bad that maybe your neighbors have some chickens?
Like, well, no, they're not chickens. They're Grandma and Uncle Sam.
Oh, yes, well, maybe that. A caller on 8th Avenue said that unknown people were in his apartment peeing in the kitchen and taking apart the refrigerator.
You know what? That's rude.
Well, I wish there was someone who could defrost and take apart ours so we get ice again. That would be nice. We'll take apart our, but no, you don't pee in the kitchen. We really rather not. At least I do it in the living room.
Yeah.
We got that really nice couch from Lazy Boy.
Yes.
There's one cushion that you probably don't want to go near. Let's do. Now I have to portion out. Now I have to parcel and hoard the old times. But I have a couple. So let's do a couple of old-timey things. These were in the newspapers 100 years ago, literally 1923. In Denver, 2 youths, both under 18 years of age, were arrested
Youngins.
for stealing 20 cents from a streetcar conductor. They will be sentenced. What do you think it's going to be?
5 years.
20 years in prison for the theft of 20 cents.
You know why? Because he's a federal or state employee. Like, that's why, like, when my dad worked for MTA, he was a mechanic, but the bus drivers, if you assault like a bus driver or like a mail, a postal delivery person, the postal delivery people are federal, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know what maybe that person was federal or state, yeah.
So, yeah, it sounds harsh, but at the same time, and they were young, they were under 18, but, you don't steal from a government
Well, I
worker.
told you about Sweden. When you go on the buses, it's honor system, right? So you buy a ticket, you scan your ticket on the bus, but there's nobody, they're automated. So they're cameras, but there are no people.
So you think anybody ever gets...
I wonder, but it's a very legit society. We scanned and did it because we're like, we don't know what we're doing. So people had to help us, but it's interesting, right? That idea of like...
Of an honor system society? Well, when you have a hegemonic society,
Yeah.
relatively like Sweden, I guess it's easier.
I think they're also like, they pay into healthcare, like it's a whole societal trust, thing. Everybody gets Wi-Fi, it's good, yeah.
Oh, that's all right. A Greeley minister, this is from 100 years ago. A Greeley minister, speaking of the needs of Greeley,
Oh, boy.
said he agrees with the laws against saloons, gambling, and Friday movies. Also, this is a quote, he said, "I am not in favor of Sunday movies. Pussyfooting religion has had its day in Greeley."
Yes. Snap, brother. He's got it. Look at him.
Yeah.
Don't mess
No.
with them.
And we know that most priests aren't into pussy.
He's
They're
just like,
into the other one.
He's saying, he's calling it as he sees it.
Yeah.
He's competing against the movies. And, he doesn't want to compete against a movie. His sermon
You are
is
on
probably,
today, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants people, those little cheeks not getting popcorn and watching a film. He wants them sitting in his pews.
Right. And I know when I go to shul and I break wind, I sit in my own pew.
You don't go to shul.
No, I don't. Anyway, let's get back to let's do it elsewhere. Even though this is Greeley Crimes in Old Times, and even though these are based in Greeley, Colorado, we also make room for one or two stories from elsewhere in the world that are just ridiculous stories. And we have one. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do. Where we're going, this has to do with someone who lived in Alabama and Kansas City and Tampa Bay because it's an athlete. This story was reported by the New York Post.
Okay.
Former baseball pro Bo Jackson, and this was literally in the paper this week, Bo Jackson has tried just about every remedy to combat his nearly year-long battle with the hiccups.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can't they just give him like a muscle relaxant or?
I don't think
You
people
can't paralyze
horrible.
you can't paralyze the trachea.
So during a radio appearance on Wednesday morning, the 60-year-old former athlete said the ordeal began last July.
Oh, what happened? Yeah.
He said, quote, I'm getting a medical procedure at the end of the week, which he hopes will help. He said, I'm at the hospital with the doctors poking me, shining lights down my throat, probing me in every way.
Wow.
They can find out why I got these hiccups. Hiccups, as you know, are repeated uncontrollable spasms in the diaphragm.
Must be horrible.
They usually go away in minutes, but for some folks it can go on for months. I can't even
I'd rather have
imagine.
hiccups than migraines. I'll trade out.
Even if your hiccups go on for weeks and weeks and your migraines go away in 2 days.
3. Yeah, but the hiccup. I guess it's. Can it give him a heart attack? Like, what's the outcome?
I don't know. I
I'm
think
trying to figure out like what's
probably
the
costs you sleep or just
Oh, you can't
concentration. I don't
sleep,
know.
Plus, you can't go to another movie because no one's gonna be like shh.
Now the reason I brought this up is it's a weird story, guys having hiccups.
Let's see.
But he added, oh my goodness. Oh, we gotta get new sound machines. But the burp is closest.
Yeah, but
If he could give a good burp, he'd probably be okay.
the burp stopped.
So Bo Jackson added, nobody really asked him to add this, but he said, quote, I have done everything. Scare me,
Yeah.
drink water upside down, smell the ass of a porcupine.
I've never heard that one.
It doesn't work.
I've never heard that. I've heard many remedies, but never smelling the tushy bug of a porcupine. Why a porcupine? Just go to your dog.
I don't know if he's just kind of being funny.
I think he's making he's like to say I've done it all.
I mean, smelling the ass of a badger, I get, but a porcupine, I don't. Anyway, our best wishes to Bo Jackson and that procedure.
You pretend you're him, and I'll scare you.
All right, so we're doing Greeley Times Crimes and Old Times here on Dave's Gone By on this
Get
Saturday.
the air horn.
Oh yeah, here on this Saturday.
No, stop. Don't do that, David.
This is my deaf ear. It doesn't matter.
I
Yeah.
know. I wish him well. That's sad.
Yeah. No, it's not good. Let's do one more old time and then do a couple of crimes and then we'll get on to our friends of the Daverhood and our Limerick and then we're going yard sailing because I'm getting that pink thing. Yeah, well they're on
I
till
think
1.
we should start at the pool and work our way around.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, come back to our
That's
block. Yeah.
I don't think we should buy anything on our block because it's like weird.
We're welcome. Well, our block has the pink thing.
I don't want that.
You sure?
I'll take a picture of
Are
you
you
with
sure?
it.
Yeah. This is one more old time. In Chicago, Miss 100 years ago, they didn't have Miss Magdalene Wolf
Miss Mary Mac.
set the new world's dancing record by dancing non-stop for 73 hours. She said she was still strong after 73 hours, but preferred to stop. I would be so exhausted. I was so amazed when
She was taking that new cocaine elixir with
in
a Fedra.
Coca-Cola.
That's right.
I mean, I was so astonished when.
Did she make pee-pee?
Well, they have these rules
Maybe
where you
she
take a
was
break.
the one who was peeing on the lawn and had the electric box.
That could be her. That could be her. Miss Magdalene Wolf, 73 hours. My God, can't even imagine it. Let's do some new times. Here's some new things, new crimes. Phone calls that came into the Greeley and Weld County Police Department. For example, a caller at the Platte Valley Youth Detention. Oh, this is weird. This is blank for me. A caller at the Platte Valley Youth Detention Center said a juvenile took a staff member's jacket
Yeah.
and blanked on it, and the word didn't come through. It's something TED. So he hasn't peed, and it might not be spat. He's something on it. Wow, I
Shat?
no, in something blank TED, and somehow the rest of the word didn't come through, and I don't know why.
Oh, wow. Maybe we don't know.
Maybe
Maybe he's
farting on it.
Yes, I think farted is the word.
Yeah.
I bet you it's farted. Farted sounds like something a kid would do on a jacket.
It's something I do on your jackets when you're at home. I figure I want to keep your jackets warm.
David, you farted on my couch when we were single, and a week later my mom came and said, "Oh, Joyce Ann, do you have a flatus?" I said, "No." She said, "Your couch smells like fart."
This is
I said,
actually true.
"David, it's a corduroy couch, and you farted on it a week earlier."
I broke wind. I was at her apartment,
Yes.
and then a week later, her mom comes
Yes,
and
and
it's like,
she's like, "Did you have past flatus?" I said, "No, David did." She said, "Oh, is he here?" I said, "No, it was a week ago."
remember we used to go out on Sundays for Indian food.
Yeah.
So that would just pass through me, and you're lucky I didn't crap all over your couch.
Thank you, honey.
I'm just
And I
saying.
still married you.
Oh yeah, I was on my best behavior when we were dating. I did not shit on your furniture.
But you farted on it.
That I did. That I did.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really like a slippery slope from shitting.
Oh man. Okay, one more. A caller on 11th Avenue said that a man who locked himself inside an elevator was sleeping and would not allow anyone else to come in.
How do you lock yourself?
How do you lock yourself in
inside
that?
an elevator?
Maybe you just have your toe on door closed the whole
Maybe
time.
when you sleep, you roll down or something.
I don't know. I honestly, I mean, granted, living in an elevator has its ups and downs.
Well, I'll tell you, when Diditi lived in Philly, she
Former
lived in
friend of ours.
in a old building, and literally, I'd open the door and I would see like a head. So the elevator was like a cage elevator that would open.
Oh yeah.
And so I would look, and you would see like head and shoulders, and the elevator door would be open, and people, trying to get out, and you'd see head and shoulders, and I'm like, what the frick? And you'd be like, hello. The elevator would get stuck where it's like 2/3 of your body is above, or
Yeah.
a third, and the rest is below the floor. Like, that's horrible.
Of course it is. Yeah. And if you try and climb out, suddenly the elevator stops moving, and that becomes like Final Destination
you
thing.
could be
Yeah.
squished. It was horrible.
Yeah. Wow. Well, this has elevated my mood to the point where I can now do Friends of the Daverhood and Colorado Limerick of the Dam. But that, folks, was Greeley Crimes. An old time. Oh, wait. I still have the chicken alert theme. Hold on. Let's have some Groucho.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
He was not.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi.
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is about 25 after 11 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood on this Saturday morning. So, yes, I mentioned we have Friends of the Daverhood. Friends are people who have been on this program in the 20.5 years that we've been doing the show. That's a lot of people. Like today, we welcomed back Stuart Brown, the founder of soundsofbroadway.com, and we welcomed for the very first time the lovely Quinn Lemley, who you can see doing Rita Hayworth, The Heat is On, this Monday night at Don't Tell Mama on West 46th Street in Manhattan. And if for some reason you have to miss it this Monday, she's doing one a month for the rest of the year at Don't Tell Mama. So check that out. And of course, we've had our wonderful longtime trivia player, David Sheward.
He
who-
won, yeah.
Oh,
He was back
God,
on
with
track.
8 points. He just ran away with it.
Well, the guy was sick, and the girl, I couldn't hear her. She was very low.
Her mic was kind of
Did it,
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what she was saying.
It was okay during the interview,
Yeah,
but
but
when
not
you had
during
all these
the-
other people who were loud, and hers was soft. But also David Sheward, read him in culturaldaily.com, theaterlife.com, and the David Desk. But they're just people who've been on this episode today, like Rabbi Sol Solomon, spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches. Find out more about him at his website, shalomdammit.com, shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com. Frankmobile.com. This is a place to read and hear his rabbinical reflections. They're mini sermons that he does. You can also watch the hilarious TV show that he did for cable TV over a decade ago called Shalom Dammit, Rabbi Saul Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour. Still gives me a chuckle. And of course, his stage show, which was filmed for broadcast. It's called Shalom Dammit, An Evening with Rabbi Saul Solomon. There are links to all of that and more at shalomdammit.com. But again, these are all people who were here on this May 20th, 2023. What about folks who were on this program in years past? What are they up to? Because they're our family, they're our friends of the Daverhood. So let me tell you about our friends of the Daverhood. For example, I should have gotten the paper ready because I knew I was going to do this. For example, congratulations to singer-songwriter Eliza Gilkison. Her new song, Safety Zone, has just been released, and it's from her upcoming album that will be released in June called Home. So go check out Eliza Gilkison, Gilkyson. She's in the folk country genre. You're going to want to hear her stuff. Oh, and we want to do this. Joyce is following on Facebook, my very close friend since, junior high school, a fellow named Stephen Fish. Stephen, great guy. He's been on a couple of our New Year's shows, and I've known him, honestly. I was in a band with him, Stephen Fish and the Fabulous Fish Heads, in junior high school and high school. Stephen Fish, his long-time partner, Susan Greenberg, has been suffering with kidney.
I love that. I like that name.
I'm not kidding you.
I got kidney disease.
She has kidney disease. I'm pretty heavy stage. She's in dialysis now, 3 times a week. She needs a kidney, and she has one of those weird blood types that is not a particularly common one. So go find on Facebook or especially Facebook. Look for Stephen Fish, Fisch, or Susan Greenberg. I know it's her name is more common, so you're probably going to find him easier. But she needs a kidney. So if you know someone, or if you yourself might be one of those weird blood types, and you're willing to be a donor, or you want to donate to the cause of just buying one of these goddamn things, please go find Susan Greenberg and Stephen Fish and help them out if you can. All right, on to happier things. Today, John DeResta, who I've known since high school, is at McGuire's Comedy Club in Bohemia, New York. He's having this great afterlife. What a story he had. He was a New York City transit cop, and then he started doing some stand-up comedy and off-Broadway one-man show about his life as a transit cop, picked up an agent, got himself a TV deal. He had a sitcom for a year, but the ratings were not great, and then he's trying to pick up, basic acting money wherever he could. And now his stand-up career over the past couple of years has taken off again. And he looks amazing. He's like a very handsome guy now. John DeResta, he's at McGuire's Comedy Club in Bohemia tonight. And then on, this would be, today's the 20th, 21st, would be Monday night. Lilias White is getting the American Songbook Association's Darrell Hemline Award that is taking place at Chelsea Table and Stage. So congratulations to her. Also on Monday night, Stuart F. Lane, the producer, and his wife Bonnie Comley are getting the Cheetah Rivera Award for developing and creating and running Broadway HD. We subscribed to that for about a year during the pandemic, and saw tons of old and new theater performances thanks to that station. So get yourself Broadway HD, and congrats to Stuart F. Lane. On Tuesday night, Karen Akers, legendary Broadway singer, she is going to be at a benefit for Urban Stages in New York. And then on Wednesday, our very recent new friend of the Daverhood, Judy Mark, is doing Merely Marvelous Gwen Verdon, that is at Don't Tell Mama. And then starting on Wednesday and playing through the 31st, the one, the only, the 95-year-old Marilyn May is going to be at 54 Below. Jessica Schur on the 25th, she's doing her show Betty Davis Ain't for Sissies, that is in New York at the Triad Theater or Club up on West 72nd Street. Remember, you just have, I think, 2 or 3 more weeks to see Shia Porn Theracolstit in the musical comedy Con, the Musical, at the Players Theater downtown. Karen Finley, she's doing her one-woman avant-garde comedy show, COVID Vortex Anxiety Opera Kitty Kaleidoscope Disco, at the Laurie Beachman Theater in Midtown through late June. Letting you know that J.O. Sanders is in the new Roundabout Theater play Primary Trust. That's off-Broadway at the Laura Pels Theater. On Broadway, Tova Feldshuh is in Funny Girl, and Dakin Matthews is playing Merlin in that new revised Camelot that Lincoln Center Theater is doing. Linneas White, we just mentioned her. She's Hermes or Hermes in Hadestown. Alan Menken did the music for Broadway's Aladdin and the music for off-Broadway's Little Shop of Horrors. That's at the West Side Theater, by the way. Tuesday evenings, see Seth's Talent Showcase, hosted by Seth Bisson-Hirsch. That is at Don't Tell Mama. And then Tuesday evenings, you can see Katie Sullivan at the piano at the Algonquin. Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano, they hold court Saturday evenings at Birdland. Get your tickets at birdlandjazz.com. Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks do 2 shows on Monday nights at Birdland. And Jim Caruso's cast party later on Monday nights at Birdland. Remember, Evan Seplow is the founder and editor and creator of the website StageBuddy.com. Dr. Demento doing new and old Dr. Demento shows at drdemento.com. And who else? So Leslie Hoban Blake, watch her on 2 on the Aisle. It is a theater review show that she does with our longtime friend Charlie Gross. That show's been running literally now 3 decades on Manhattan Cable TV. You can watch segments of episodes and entire episodes at their YouTube channel, 2 on the Island. Those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it is just a little bit after 11:30 because you're watching the 895th episode. Imagine that. 895th episode of Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wife Joyce. We've been calling it The Mighty Quinn because, of course, we thank Quinn Lemley for being here in the Daverhood. Is there anything we wanted to talk about before we get to the Colorado Limerick?
Check the weather.
Weather, yeah, it still seems drizzly.
Pool on your thing.
Yeah. You did show me this very, very upsetting piece of news this week, just the other day. Joyce shared this with me because she knew I'd be interested in that for really no good reason. This is what happened. People just change things because they think they need changing. The packaging on something that's been selling billions of dollars of things for years, no problem. But no, it looks old. It needs something. Coca-Cola, new Coke. Oh, everybody be into this, right? So they're doing it again, and they are changing, perhaps temporarily, but they're changing the name of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile to the Oscar Mayer Frankmobile. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but the Wienermobile itself, this idea of a car shaped like a giant Oscar Mayer Frankfurter with the orange and brown signage, has been around since 1936. If you can believe it, it's like 80 years old plus at this point, right? And they've called it the Wienermobile. Oscar Mayer Wieners. Wiener from Vienna, and they're wieners, they're hot dogs. And yet for some reason they feel, well, nobody wants to call it that anymore. Maybe too many people are pointing at it and saying it's too phallic. Let's not call it a weenie, let's call it a wiener moment. No. Let's change it. And they've changed part of the signage to Frankmobile.
I found all 5 oxytitles.
Oh, yay, Joyce. Well done. Look. Yeah, they're so cute. Oh, they are so
I'll
cute.
send you that picture. I'll
Well,
show
that's
you.
that one's an alligator
No,
on the
it's
front. What the
not
hell is that?
stuff. This is what they said, it's the game, I don't,
Yeah. But how do you, real quick, how do you feel about changing the name of the
I
Wienermobile?
could really care less.
No! They haven't changed the look of the thing. It's still a ridiculously long Frankfurter that some, young kids get the privilege, sorry, I'm tearing up about this, to drive across America and drive a giant Frankfurter car.
If they changed the name of your Orido potato truck, then that would be better.
That would be unbelievably terrible. If they just changed it to like Ore-Ida round white things that we mash up and sell. No, that would be the equivalent.
The potato truck guy too.
I know. I should get someone from Oscar Mayer to be on
You
here.
should.
Yeah.
They should probably do the publicity.
I'm just saying, you folks at Oscar Mayer for doing this, you are losers and not wieners. Dan, did you see what we did there? Anyway,
I don't know. I have the word oath on my calendar and I don't know why.
I don't know either.
What oath would I be taking on Monday?
Oh,
Oath?
I mean, you have still some school thing to
but
do
not
on.
an oath. I mean, I'm not taking an oath.
Right. You used to work for a place that had a name similar to that. I don't think
it's
that.
not that.
No. Oath. Are we renewing our vows? We've been married 25 years. No, I don't think that's happening. Anyway, we have a limerick for you. We have a short poem, a horrible, disgusting short poem, where we, since Joyce and I lived in Colorado for many, many years, I got it into my head for no good reason to write a poem about as many places in Colorado as I possibly could. Sometimes it's really easy. Sometimes, Vale rhymes with a zillion different things. And, I don't know, Greeley rhymes with stuff, really, steely, actually it doesn't rhyme with that many things.
Wheelie, doing a wheelie?
Doing a Papa Wheelie, there you go. So, but they've gotten a lot tougher because I've done more than 250 of these bloody things. Oh, yeah. Could you, yeah, yikes.
It's 1 minute to get to the swim club.
Yeah, absolutely, great. Are we gonna walk it or drive it?
We're gonna drive it.
Okay, fine. Anyway, but we're no longer living in Colorado. Joyce and I now live in Maryland. But I'm still writing these poems about all these different places in Colorado for no good reason, except for the fact that it gives me horrible joy.
So you want to finish up all the towns, right? You've been working on
As many as I can, but they get tougher. So today, I'm
so
sneezels. I think I caught it from Stuart Brown.
I bet you did.
Today's town is Snowmass Village.
Oh.
Snowmass
I'm
Village,
looking it up. Where is it?
Colorado. Yeah, you can give the info about Snowmass, and I'll do the poem, which is, how bad is, this is awful. You don't want the kids in the room when I do the actual poem. But until then, this is our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain, Colorado, Colorado.
So yes, it is a ski-y type place. Stop this. There we go. A very touristy place to be. Population of about 3,000 in northwestern Colorado. From the official website for Snowmass, Colorado, quote, the air is fresh, the temperature is perfect, and thankfully the days are long because so is the list of possibilities. Yeah?
The Ted Bundy, it said abducted and murdered somebody in Snowmass Village.
Yes. I didn't know that part. Wow. Ted Bundy. And it's the home of Ted Bundy. So there you go. The area was originally founded by ranchers. In the 1960s, ceramic artist Paul Soldner founded the Anderson Ranch Arts Center there, and at the same time, Bill Jenks of the American Cement Company founded a ski resort, which was incorporated as Snowmass Village in the 1970s. So I did not know about about Ted Bundy. Any other,
They said there are a lot of black bears,
oh. Ooh,
and they said, Snowmass is better than Aspen for skiing, that's the rumor.
wow. I should call it
It's difficult
Snowmaspin.
to ski, it says difficulty higher than average.
What's kind of interesting is Wikipedia says about Snowmass Village in 2010, the accidental discovery by a bulldozer operator of a fossilized Pleistocene ecosystem from the Ice Age has put Snowmass on the paleontological map. So, but otherwise it's on the map for hiking, uphill skiing, biking, ice skating, hot air ballooning. Apparently it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous place.
Yeah.
They have an art festival every year, a rodeo, music on the mall, and everybody loves yarn bombing.
Oh, yes.
It's an art
When
project,
you-
like a,
When you know, it's actually when you knit things and you weave them all over.
yeah,
So you knit, tiny mushrooms or little dolls and you put them all over.
it's like a Christo thing.
I
It just,
love
yeah,
that.
no, it's a great idea. By the way, single family homes in Snowmass Village tend to start. They tend to start. I don't know why. Oh, I think I told it to start.
Yes.
Just turn the volume down.
I'm
So
trying to. I don't know how to work your phone.
I don't want stalkers coming to, for all, for very legitimate reasons, coming to kill me. But single family homes in Snowmass Village
Yeah.
start at around $2 million.
Oh, wow.
It's Colorado, ladies and gentlemen, and it's snow area Aspeny, Colorado. But anyway, let's pat our asses and get to our Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Snowmass Village. Oh, how we defiled Snowmass Village, a town we did plunder and pillage. We found women there and came in their hair and forced them to lick up the spillage. Somehow you're not disgusted by that. I'm amazed. Somehow you're not. No, you are. Yeah, my wife is nauseated. That's what I live for, ladies and gentlemen. Entertaining you and nauseating Joyce or Hoyce. But if you have complaints, please mail them to davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. As I said, I read everything, and if I can, I respond to as much as I can, even if it's just a thumbs up or something, but I don't get to everything, particularly on this Facebook page, Dave's Gone By, where you can respond under a show or message me if you're a Facebook friend, or again, davesgoneby@aol.com. Follow me on Twitter. Radio Dave 2 is the handle, or you can also follow Rabbi Sol Solomon on Twitter at Rabbi Sol Solomon, SOLSOLOMON, at Rabbi Sol Solomon. Want to let you know that also I have a whole different page, a whole different website that's called davelefkowitz.org. davelefkowitz.org is where I put my writings. So, if you want to read the many, many interviews that I've done with a lot of celebrity type people, if you want to read the theater column I used to write for Long Island Pulse magazine, if you want to read my song lyrics and my plays, full-length plays, one-act plays, my ridiculous song lyrics, they're hundreds of items, and more coming as much as I can put them on. davelefkowitz.org. I'd love to see you there, as much as I'd love to have you watching the archives of davesgoneby.com. So, it's about 1:45, and I think we're pretty, I've left a little time so that we can go yard sailing.
Yeah.
I want that pink thing, sort of not, but I want to look at it. I want to touch it in a sexual way. I want to do this. No, Joyce is shaking her head no. Anyway, yeah, that about does it for the week. I expect to be back next Saturday, usual time, 9 until noonish or beforehand sometimes thereabout. I used to go 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. Now it's like 11:45. I'm like, time, we're good. I'm not gonna protract
Go to
this.
the yard sale, that's why.
That's true. So, thank you all for tuning in. I hope to see you for the last Dave's Gone By episode for the month of May next week. It'll be episode number, oh my tush, episode number 896. Oh no, that didn't look good. 896. Oh, we didn't put this on so we can officially watch the special effect. Oh, huh?
You gotta bring the wheelie man out, the.
Oh, well, he's in the
Next
other.
time,
I can do Pooey. Here. Pooey's gonna go like, he's gonna dance to the final
Okay,
final
here
number.
we go.
Have a wonderful week. Thank you for your help, Joyce. Thank you to David Sheward, to Quinn Lemley, to Stuart Brown, and to Rabbi Saul Solomon as well. We'll see you back in the Daverhood on May 27th with our 896th episode. And come on! Yard sale!